guys. I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, The Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from Fins Up SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta Dolphin Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal Dolphin Club.
And you're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D, and we are live on this beautiful Spread Kindness Friday right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I want to say good morning to my Kinlaws and my family right here on the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. I am your host, Stephen Daniels. You can follow me at Stephen D, SKPL, on all social media platforms. SKPL stands for Spread Kindness, Positivity, and Love. Make sure y'all check that out. Definitely want to make sure, we're doing all that. So, super excited about all that. Make sure you follow me or follow Miami Sports Music on all social media platforms at Miami Sports Music, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, which you're currently on right now. And also follow us on Twitter at MIA Sports Music, which maybe you're watching on. Make sure when you come through, you hit that like button. Let people know that we're here and that we're not going anywhere. So make sure you do that. Hit the like button, share. Tell people, say, oh my God, you guys got to come through. You guys got to see what we got going on. This guy, Stephen D, he's pretty awesome. Share it. We got a lot of cool stuff going on, and we definitely want you to be a part of it. So we love you, and we appreciate it that you're here this morning. So make sure you hit that like button and share and subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything to do those things. Those things are free. It just takes you a second to do. Maybe 2 seconds in some cases. Just make sure you guys do that, okay? Sorry, little under the weather this morning, but I'm here. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to fight. Hey, join now. Sign up, become a member today. Your seat at the table is waiting for you. We would love to see you sign up and become a member of this beautiful, awesome channel. I am super excited that y'all are here, and y'all are have a lot of beautiful things going on. So when you guys take the time out to not only subscribe to the channel, but sign up and become a member, it definitely makes me know that you care about what we're doing here, and you support not only me, but the entire network. And, that's what I want to do. I want to make this a beautiful, big thing, and I can't do that without your help. So make sure you guys do that. Let me send the link in here for you guys. Here, join now, sign up, become a member. There we go. Right here. Sign up, become a member today. My mind is all over the place this morning. Just bear with me. Got a lot of stuff going on. Let's see here. Also, want to make sure as well, if you want to donate to the channel and help the channel grow, we appreciate every dollar that you guys give, or ladies that you give. Even if it's $1 or $100 or 10,000, I haven't gotten that yet, but any amount that you donate, it goes such a long way into helping the channel grow. All right. There's 3 different ways to donate. Actually, there's 4. First 3 ways are if you're live watching us right now as we're on. And that first way is using the live chat feature. If you go down to the bottom, you'll see a box with a $sign in it. It's called the YouTube Live Super Chat. You guys can do it that way. And that way right there, you can donate through the channel of YouTube. Now, there's 2 other ways you guys can do that live, or at any time for that matter. You can use we have a Cash App, which is $MSM Podcast Network, or it is PayPal MSM Podcast Network. You can use these QR codes that you see on the screen here, and it will go to helping the channel grow, which we always appreciate, okay? There's less fees that come out of PayPal and Cash App, so, we appreciate y'all doing that. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor of the show, Tailgreeter. Tailgreeter is absolutely amazing. Tailgreeter is going to be on a NASCAR this week, and they are going to be in Charlotte Motor Speedway in Charlotte, North Carolina, on the Saturday race, the Xfinity race. Garrett Smithley, I think, is the car that they're going to have. which is awesome. So go check out the NASCAR race this weekend on Saturday. Remember, all the big races are on Sunday, but the lower tier, the Xfinity tier, who I love to watch because you get the next up-and-coming drivers, there's going to be a tail greeter car this weekend. So make sure you guys check out that. Download the app today on your current Apple or Android device, and you can follow Tail Greeter on social media at TAILGREEDER. ZSM Sports is also a beautiful sponsor of ours. They donate, a lot of different sports memorabilia to the channel and help us use that to be able to raffle it off. We're not doing anything like that this week. We had a big giveaway last week. Shout out to Trucker Sean who won that. But we're going to do another big one next week. Maybe the week after. I'm not sure yet. But I do want to let you guys know any amount that you donate is always greatly appreciated. I'm not doing anything this week, but hey, you get to help the channel grow if you guys donate this week. So that's always a beautiful thing too. I want to remind you guys we have a big event coming up week 2 in Baltimore, Maryland. The Baltimore Beatdown. Miami Sports Music is hosting that. That's going to be an awesome thing. I'm actually hosting that. So it'll be a big thing there for Miami Sports Music. Dolphins, Ravens. Make sure you check it out. If you follow us on our Facebook group, you'll see Baltimore Beatdown 2022. And you can follow us there. A lot of cool stuff there. Make sure you guys check that out. All right, man. Got a big weekend coming up ahead of us. It is it's Memorial Day weekend, right, guys? I think it's Memorial Day weekend. Got a big 3-day weekend ahead here. Shout out to Level 2 Noob. And Alan M for sharing the link this morning on Twitter. I like what Level 2 Noob said. He told me to share the link to Clock Blockers on Miami Sports Music, or he'd tell everyone he was a Jesse Davis fan. Level 2 Noob, I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing the link on YouTube, on Twitter, guys. Great tweets, nonetheless. What do you guys got planned this weekend? What are you guys doing? Matter of fact, let me go through and say hello to everybody in the chat this morning. We got Cruz Ruiz, Alan M., Trucker Sean. We got Roach, who says I'm late. I'm sorry. Alan M., King Mill, Marty Woodley. Almost forgot to hit that like button on the in. Adam E., Concrete Slick. My man Concrete Slick. What is up, man? AA, what's up, AA? How are you? Corey Walker, Brandon Martinez. Yo, my boy Stephen D. What's up, Brandon Martinez? How are you, man? Big Time 666. Good morning to you, brother. Mark K is in the building, wishing you and your family a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Hey, man, it's going to be a lot of fun this weekend. My pool opens up this weekend, so I'm hoping to get good weather tomorrow because the pool opens up. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. That's how I know summertime's here, when the pool opens up. Let's see here. Andres, what's up, Andres? Bob Young, Marty Woodley, watching the Tank versus Raleigh fight. That'll be a good one. Look, I'm just going to relax this weekend. My dad's coming into town for the evening, tomorrow evening. He's only staying for a day, so I'll hang out with him for a little bit. And, I'm going to hang out with the family. I'm just going to relax this weekend. That's what I need to do anyway. So it'll be a lot of fun. It is Spread Kindness Friday. So I do have a co-host today that'll be coming on at 10 o'clock. Y'all know him. Y'all love him. I'm going to have Mr. Cameron on from East 32 Dolphins Tailgate. So that should be good. I am excited about bringing Cameron on later at 10 o'clock. We'll talk about all that. And then obviously tonight is Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Miami Heat facing the Boston Celtics in Boston. Boston up 3-2. I don't know who's winning. I hope it's Miami. Miami's behind the 8 ball. Let's call it what it is. It'll be a tough game. I don't know if we quite get there. Now I said this series was probably going 6 or 7 games. Now my hope is Miami already beat Boston in Boston once. So they can do it, but it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot. So we'll have to see what happens, and I'm excited about it nonetheless. It should be good. Okay. What else? I mean, I like. What else are you guys doing this weekend? Are you guys spending it with family? You guys got cookouts in the works? Is your pools opening? I want to know. Put it in the chat. I want to know about you guys this weekend. How do you plan on spending your Memorial Day weekend? That'll be a lot of fun. We'll get into that. It's one of my favorite holidays because we just get to relax and chill, and we also get to give thanks for those men and women who sacrificed their life in service. So just relaxing and maybe working out. Brandon Martinez said, "Hey man, gas prices too high." Big Dougie B says, "I'm staying home." I ain't mad at you, Big Dougie B. I own my own house, so my pool is open all year. LOL. See, you people in Florida, you don't have to rub it in, okay? I'm up north here. I have to wait for our pool to open. Going camping and drinking entirely too much, Pop Young said. Trying to get things together for my podcast this weekend. Oh, Concrete Slick, tell us about your podcast, man. I'll shout it out. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. I know Sunday I'll be like in front of the TV the entire day for NASCAR and the Indy 500. I'm going to kidnap Mark Cuban since he can't put talent around Lucas so the kid isn't playing 1 versus 5. No lies were told there. Shout out to the Golden State Warriors, although I'm not a fan of them, but they did advance to the NBA Finals last night by sweeping the Dallas Mavericks. Big Dougie B says, "Wish I had a pool. Heck, I wish I had my own home." Big Dougie B, hey man, look, we are in an apartment complex. I'm with you there, man. Stephen D, what's going on with Lamar Jackson? What's the local media's input? Here in Baltimore, I don't listen to a lot of local media anymore because number one, it's depressing. For Orioles fans, but number two, Level 2 Noob says, they did not sweep the Mavs. We got one. Okay. They got one. I'm sorry. Guys, come on now. I'm wrong, but you guys, that was a rough series to watch. Every time I turned on the TV, Steph and Klay Thompson were hitting threes. Heck, Draymond was hitting threes for a while that I saw. Sorry, I didn't give you guys that one. Let's see. $89 for gas is $5. Gas prices, the new quarantine. No lies were told there, AA. Not at all. Von Joe says, just picked up my sister-in-law from the airport, so we lit family fun this weekend. I like it. Hey, here in Cali, it's over $6. Man, boy, times is tough. When Draymond hits threes, it's over. No doubt. No doubt about that, Tank McBride. No lies were told there. All right, so we got a lot to talk about today. I want to be able to talk about more about this thing in San Francisco with the YouTuber, but I'm going to wait for my brother from another mother, Cameron, to come on a little bit later. So I figure, we'll get back into the NFL quarterback rankings that I'm doing because I feel like this is a really good series, and I want to know what you guys think. And I think it's a good topic of conversation that is a lot of fun and just brings up a lot of debate. So are you guys ready to see 25 through 21? Let's recap what we saw already. We had yesterday, I released 30 through 26. And I had Kenny Pickett, Marcus Mariota, Daniel Jones, Justin Fields at 27, and Davis Mills at 26. Remember, I have rules for the list. Rules include no more than one quarterback on the same team, which is why you see Kenny Pickett and Marcus Mariota maybe up there ahead of some other players that are doing stuff. So, yeah, make sure you guys see that, or make sure you understand that. Okay. My personal metrics that I use for ranking in this list were natural ability, past accomplishments, current team and scheme, and projected future ceiling. That's kind of what I got in making this list. So I'll tell you what, we're at 24 likes. If we get to 40 likes, right now, which means 16 more likes, I will release 25 through 21. I will release 25 through 21 if y'all hit that like button 16 more times. Got to hit it, though. Got to hit that like button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the like button. There we go. There's 27. That's 3 likes. There we go. There we go. I know y'all want to see 25 through 21. You know what? I'll even make it easy on you. I'll make it that if you get to 35 likes, we'll do it. I'll make it that if you get to 35 likes, we'll do it. Just get to 35. There's 31. 4 more people hit that like button. Don't bribe me. I'm taking my like back. No, don't take it back, level 2 noob. You really took it back, too. That's funny. This is a good series, Cruz Ruiz says. Don't spoil it for like. All right, 4 more likes, and I will release the next 5. This is going to take weeks to finish. I love you, Andrevius. Andrevius, you're too much. God love you, man. God love you. All right, 34. 1 more like. 1 more like. We'll get to 35 likes, and we'll get there. Okay. Here we go. 34. 34. Who's got that 35? 37 likes. There we go. Okay. Here we go. 25 through 21. Bam. Let's break it down, shall we? 25th quarterback in my ranking, I have a Trevor Lawrence. Here's my thing about Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, for me, is very interesting because, you know, last year they had Urban Meyer. They drafted him number 1 overall. There was so many interesting things when it comes to the Jacksonville Jaguars organization, right? And, you know, I looked at that and I said, you know, I still, my book is still out on Trevor. I'm not necessarily sold. I think he did really, really good in Jacksonville. In Clemson. And I think that he had moments in Jacksonville where he was like, okay, this kid's got some stuff. But I don't know if I would put him personally right now as of this moment ahead of Jalen Hurts and Zach Wilson. And some people are going to argue with me on that. But, you know, we'll see. Number 24, I have Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston intrigues me because the man can still throw up touchdowns, but he can also throw interceptions. And he also can't stay healthy. But he is going to be the starting quarterback, I believe, this year for the New Orleans Saints. And, you know, it'll be very, very interesting to see if that happens. Number 23 I have is Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, 3rd team in 3 years. Philadelphia, Indianapolis, now Washington with the Commanders. You know, that whole situation looks very interesting. You know, did he get a fair shake in Indy? I don't think he did. Is he fully recovered from all of his injuries that he suffered earlier this year? I don't think he necessarily did. But you know, I think when healthy, Carson Wentz can be a really, really great quarterback. And because of that, I would probably say, you know, Carson is number 23 on that list for that reason, that when healthy, he's great. But the book is still out. If he has another bad year or gets hurt again, I think his career is done, personally. I don't think you can keep him as a starting quarterback or a potential starting quarterback, right? You just can't rely on him. But I do believe that he'll be the starter this year and play all through the year. I know they got they got Matt Corral, I think, right? Who did they get? Did they get Matt Corral? But it'll be very interesting to see nonetheless. Number 22, Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen surprised me last year by getting the starting nod in Philly. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. I think he fits very well in what they're doing in Philly. He is the one player on this list where I think there's no doubt in my mind he should be the starter week 1 through. Well, Hemon probably. There's a few people that will be so far on this list that I'm like, you know what, they'll be the starter throughout the whole year. But Jalen Hurts, I think, that one he excites. He's fun to watch. He is fun to watch. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not. I enjoy watching him. As a football fan, I think he's good. But the question is he durable? Can he last? That's to be decided. But I have to admit he's fun to watch. And then I have Zach Wilson at 21, which I know a lot of people don't necessarily like. New York Jets, we all want to hate on him. They're my most hated team. But if I'm being honest with myself, Zach Wilson is a decent quarterback and has the potential to be a better one as long as the Jets put the right pieces around him. I don't think they have. I don't think they win more than 7 or 8 games this year. But nonetheless, that doesn't make it that I don't think that Zach Wilson isn't a decent quarterback or close to a top 20 quarterback. Again, if I was to put backups in here and have more than one quarterback on the same team, Zach Wilson would probably drop to 25 or 26 easy. Because then I would probably go about ranking things a little bit differently. So, yeah, that's my view of it. And I do think that Zach Wilson is better than Daniel Jones. I saw that in there, Ray Love. But yeah, that's my first 30. That's my first 10 of the 30. Kenny Pickett, Marcus Mariota, Daniel Jones, Justin Fields, Davis Mills, Trevor Lawrence, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts, and Zach Wilson. And on Monday, I will release 20 through 16. You will get 5 more on Monday. So I'm interested. What do you guys think about it? I want to know what you guys think about this. Yeah. This is my 30 through 21. Let's see what you guys got to say about it. Jets game, do you think I have Zach Wilson where he's supposed to be? Interested to know. Zach Wilson isn't even better than his backup. Look, I feel like that's a lot of hate coming from the Jets, who I hate. I do hate. Zach is not better than Jameis Winston. Carson Wentz. I'll say Zach top 20 now before season. See, I don't think so. Not yet. Not there yet, sir. I think this is fair. I think this is an unbiased ranking for all these guys. Trevor, look at Trevor at 25. Let's be honest about Trevor Lawrence at 25, guys. Do you understand what they went through last year as a franchise, as an organization? You don't know what they're going to do moving forward. The new head coach down there might not want Trevor. I'm not saying he does or he doesn't. I'm just saying we don't know. So I look, and I think that Robert Saleh is invested in Zach Wilson, which is why Zach Wilson is higher. Jameis cannot stay healthy and throws a butt ton of interceptions. That's why he's 24. Now he throws a lot of touchdowns too. I'll give you that. Carson Wentz at 23. The guy was MVP candidate material for a while. Concrete Slick said I would put Jameis over Hurts and Wentz. Trey says you're disrespecting Winston. He can't stay. He's got to stay healthy, and he has to throw less picks in order for me to move him up. Zach played with no wide receivers last year. I would argue he had at least one. Lawrence needs 3 years, though, right? My bad. Who's arguing in the chat? No arguing in the chat with each other. What has Zach done? Zach hasn't done anything. Zach has not done anything, but neither has Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz, Jameis Winston, Trevor Lawrence, Davis Mills, Justin Fields, Daniel Jones, Marcus Mariota, and for that matter, even Kenny Pickett. Jameis was balling last year before getting hurt. Look, if you want me to move him up 3 spots, okay, I could deal with that argument. But to me, I would put, here's the other thing about this ranking system, right? I feel like every 5 quarterbacks, for the most part, are kind of grouped together. When you see my final breakdown next week, I think you'll get to see it all by next week. Yeah, you'll see them all by Thursday. I think you'll understand that every 5 or 6 quarterbacks are kind of grouped together for the most part. Zach Wilson, Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz, Jameis Winston, and Trevor Lawrence, you could probably, you have to admit, it's not like there's a big difference between these guys. There's not a huge separation of power between these guys. They're very similar. I'm not saying quarterback-wise. I'm just saying talent level maybe, or where they're at in their careers. Andrevi says if Trevor stays in Jacksonville, he's going to be Matt Stafford. Here's the problem with that. We saw what happened with Matt Stafford in Detroit. Nothing. Not a thing. So I don't know if that's necessarily a good statement, Andrevius, for him. I don't know if he wants that. Anyone know where to find Clock Blockers, Miami's #1 fan morning show? I've accidentally wandered into a jet stream. Too funny. Zach went to, so Jetsgain is definitely saying he over here making his case about Zach Wilson. Guys, the reason I put Zach at 21 is because if I had to start a franchise today between 21 through 30, I would pick Zach Wilson over these other guys because he has a higher upside. He has a bigger projected future. Trevor might be a guy that maybe I take over Zach, maybe. But I need to see another year. But I could easily see Trevor Lawrence taking a big jump next year and getting above Zach. It all depends on what's going to happen this year. That's my point. It wasn't a good statement, Steven. He needs to get the heck out of Jacksonville. So if you look at my current metrics, what is part of the metric system, guys? Current team and scheme. Trevor's not in a good place, which is why he's lower on this list. And if I'm honest with myself, I like Robert Saleh a lot better than I like whoever the head coach is down in Jacksonville. I'm just saying. I thought about this. I put this in. I'm not saying I want you to agree with it. I'm not saying. I just want you to know, to me, it's logical. It makes sense. You don't have to agree with it. And if you're going to disagree, I guarantee you're not going to disagree by more than 3 or 4 spots any one way. You're not going to be like, oh my God, he's a top 15 quarterback. Oh my God, he's a top 10 quarterback. There might be some guys in the top 15 that you might be like, okay, maybe they should be top 10. There might be some guys in the top 10 where you're like, oh man, they should maybe be top 5. But you're not going to argue with me on anything more than 5 spots at the most. At the most. And the biggest ones I can see on this list so far that are getting the most attention are Jameis Winston, Zach Wilson you might think is too high, and Trevor Lawrence should be higher. But I don't like where Trevor Lawrence is. I don't. And I think that's going to hurt his career. Tank McBride says, Steven, I need what you're smoking on that quarterback ranking list, to be honest. That's fine. I mean, look, you haven't seen the rest of it. And when you do next week, I think you'll be like, okay, it's a fair list. It's not how I would have made it, but it's a fair list. That's the one thing I think I'll say about this. Trevor got Doug Peterson. Trevor got Doug Peterson in Jacksonville. Be honest with yourselves right now. I need you to take this out of think about this for right now. And I know, you know what? I already know what you're going to say because we're Dolphins fans and we hate the Jets. And I've said on this station, on my airwaves, that there is no one team I hate more than the Jets. I hate them. Okay. Now, let me take my Dolphins fan away from this question. Come at it from a truly football look. Would you rather have Robert Saleh and what the Jets are doing in New York, and forget that they're the Jets for the minute? Or would you rather have Doug Peterson in Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence? And you know, you got to put in ownership, what they've done. You need to put everything into context. Would you rather have the Jets or would you rather have the Jaguars right now? And if I'm asking myself that question, I think the Jets are in a much better position than where Jacksonville is. Not by much, but, and I say much better for the pure fact that I think Robert Saleh is better. Jacksonville just paid Christian Kirk like he's Jerry Rice. Yep. I mean, I want to know, what do you guys think? Maybe I should make this. What team is in a better position to succeed moving forward? New York Jets or Jacksonville Jaguars? All right, there we go. I put it as a poll question. Let's see you answer the poll question. What team is in a better position to succeed moving forward? The Jets or the Jaguars? And I'll be honest with you, I think the Jets are in a better position. That's my vote on that. You're taking Tua over a healthy Winston with the Dolphins' current roster, Stephen D? Yeah. Yeah. My book is still out on, and we'll get to him next week. We'll get to him early next week. I'll give you that much. Right? Answer honest, guys. I mean, I think the Jets are in a much better position. And I think if you are saying Jacksonville, I think there's some of you, not all of you. I do think there's some of you that are like, I can't say the Jets. I can't do it. Take the Dolphin fan out of you for a second. And by the way, I'm not sitting here saying that the Jets are going to be this great team next year. I still say 7 or 8 wins. I just think they're in a better position to succeed over Jacksonville. And if you said, hey, Steven, which team would you rather, if you were in football and you had to take control over a team, what team is set up better right now? And I would say, well, I think the Jets are. They had a much better draft. Right now, 22 people answered. Put those votes in. I want to see. Let's get as many people doing. What do you mean succeeding? Is winning the first overall a success? No, that's not. That is not. I'm simply voting Jacksonville because I believe in Trevor more than Zach. Okay, so you think, so Andrevius, so then you think Robert Saleh and Doug Peterson cancel each other out, and you think ownership in New York and ownership in Jacksonville cancel each other out, and you think the drafts that both of them have had the last couple of years, Trevor's better than the combined draft picks of what the Jets have gotten? Like, I don't think so. Jets have a better foundation and a better GM, and that showed in the draft. I agree. Our Dolphin fans don't know anything but Dolphins. That's why you get crazy comments, Bone says. I think, I think there are a lot of educated Miami Dolphin fans. And I think if you really sit and look at it from an unbiased view, which is what I did while making this list, that's what I did by this. One thing nobody's ever going to be able to say is Steven's a homer. I'm not a homer. I promise you I'm not a homer. I really think that all these guys have talent. Like, look, if you're saying, Steven, look, there's 4. All right, let's look. Davis Mills, I like. Trevor Lawrence, I like. Jalen Hurts, and Zach Wilson. So out of the 10, and then Kenny Pickett is 5. So out of 10 quarterbacks, 5 of them, I'm like, okay, the book is still out. We can see what they can do. There we go. And Marcus Mariota intrigues me when he's healthy, but I think we've seen what, and we know what he can do in his career. Hate to agree it's the Jets, but it's still hard. I'm building my own quarterback power ranking matrix. I want you to. That's what I wanted out of this. Make it, post it on Twitter, and I'll retweet it. Level 2 Noob did it yesterday, and we saw his top 30. I'll do that for you guys. I'll air your stuff. I agree with you, Steven. I know and follow football, not just the Dolphins. Jets are in a much better place than the Jag, hands down. I agree. I'm looking to see if that's right. I haven't seen anything about that yet, but we'll see if it happens. Doug Peterson has proven more. Doug Peterson's won a Super Bowl. That is correct. But Doug Peterson is not in Philly anymore. He is in Jacksonville. And until somebody succeeds in Jacksonville, I'm not going to believe it can happen. Steven, if you had to choose between Zach Wilson or Trevor Lawrence to lead the Dolphins, who would you take with our current roster? Whew, good question, Adam. Zach Wilson or Trevor Lawrence with the Miami Dolphins roster as is? I don't like either one of them. A lot. But they also haven't. Here's what I'll say. They have not taken stuff out of. Ooh, that's such a tough question, Adam. That's one of the best questions I've gotten in a long time. Alan, I saw your congratulations for being a member of 3 months. But I still hate the Celtics. Man, I'm going to have to go with. I think it is close, Trucker Sean. Trevor Lawrence probably because he has the upside. His upside looks brighter. But I would not say that Zach Wilson doesn't have an high upside either. But Trevor's the number 1 overall pick, and he's probably the number 1 overall pick for a season. But I'm not saying it's going to work out for him in Jacksonville. But you're asking me if I would take these guys on Miami, I'd probably go Trevor. Andre said, you're just a 2-and-ear president. Yeah, you're right. You're probably right. I am. Appreciate your list, Steven. Look, I think again, based off his list, it would be Zach. No, it would not be based on my list, because based on my list, okay, I take into account people's current rosters and schemes that they're in. Cruz. The question was asked with the Dolphins' current roster. Would you take Zach Wilson or Trevor? And I would say, that I had to play into an account. And I think I would rather do that. Okay, can we move on from speaking about the worst team in Florida and the worst team in the AFC East? We spent way too much time speaking on trash. Next, please. I ain't mad at you, man. I ain't mad at you. Now, let me ask, for the people that were interested, why Jameis Winston? Do you think? I know some of you said Jameis was too low. Let's talk about Jameis Winston for a minute. Why do you think Jameis Winston is too low on this list? Jameis hasn't, he's had some semi-success in the NFL. His best year was like 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. So he throws picks, right? I understand he looked good last year in New Orleans. There was something about him that you were like, oh man, but then he got hurt and we couldn't really see what he was about. But, that also plays into him. The best ability is availability. So I'm interested to know why you guys think Jameis should be higher on my list. Some of you argued that Jameis was too low. I want to hear from the people that thought that he should be. And I also want to hear, do you think he's right where he should be? Take out the trash. California says he's a backup caliber quarterback. We're talking about Jameis at the moment. I want to know what you guys think of Jameis Winston right now. By the way, 55% of you said the New York Jets were in a better position to succeed out of 40 votes. So Jets won it. But yeah, we're going to Winston. Q says Winston's too low. Q, why is Winston too low? Tell me. Winston just threw an interception to me as I was typing in the chat, so he is fine where you put him. I like it. Winston's one season away from being cut. Carson, what about Jalen? Do you think Jalen is where he should be on this list? Adam, he says Winston could be slotted anywhere from 21 to 27. I think 24 is fair. Apps, we'll get to Tua next week. Don't you worry your little head. And you know what? To Apps's point, is there anybody in 21 through 30 that you think should be here so far? Is there any one of these quarterbacks that you think should be a top 20 quarterback? Is there any one of these quarterbacks that you would currently put as a top 20 quarterback in the NFL? I wouldn't want Winston behind center for Miami. That's how I look at it. Very interested to know, is there anybody currently that's I've named on this list that you would have as a top 20 quarterback? Manza Chill says Zach Wilson. 1, 2, 3, 4 up says all of them over Tua. Now you're just hating Epps. That's a hater. You're just hating there, bro. Don't leave any crabs around Jameson if he's there. Top 20, Zach. All right. So if nobody's answering me, I assume, because nobody's in the chat really, I assume you think that then this is a fair 21 through 30 list. Oh, I know you honestly believe that, Ups, but that still doesn't make it that it's a hater, like you're hating. You like so your statement, you would say, to your point, Epps, you would say that Kenny Pickett, Marcus Mariota, Daniel Jones, Justin Fields, Davis Mills, Trevor Lawrence, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts, and Zach Wilson, you'd have all of them over Tua. No way, bro. No way. Todd says Winston finally found a system that'll work for him. 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions before the injury. But let's see how he does without Peyton is before we move them up. He shouldn't be in the top 20. He shouldn't be in the top 20, in my opinion, Winston. I don't have him there. So you think he's good where he's at. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone but Fields and Mariota. So there's 2. So it's not everybody. What is going on in the chat with Q? Who's Q arguing with? Just out of curiosity. Didn't Winston make a Pro Bowl? I'm not sure, but again, if Tua produced what Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence did, Epps would go to that man's house to fight him. Maybe. All right. I should be having our man come on, Cameron, here real soon. And then we got other stuff to talk about this morning, too. Let's see here. All right, so, yeah. Q&A. Get along, you two. Stop it. You two need to stop it. You guys see I'm policing the chat a little bit. Aren't you proud of me? I'm policing the chat. I like it nonetheless. All right, we're going to have Cameron come on here, and I'm going to see Cameron and see what he thinks so far of my top 30. Let me bring on Cameron. What's up, Cameron? How are you?
Hey, good morning, man. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Busy morning, man.
Welcome to the show. Happy Spread Kindness Friday to you. Love having you on. Miss you. We're in the swing of things this morning. So here's what I've named so far of my top 30 NFL quarterbacks. Remember my rules for this list so far: no more than one quarterback on the same team. And my metrics so far, my metrics that I've used are natural ability, past accomplishments, current team and scheme, and projected future ceiling. So let me hear your thoughts about this list so far.
How is Jalen Hurts behind Zach Wilson if you're going to take into account past accomplishments and Jalen Hurts has been in the playoffs?
That's fair. I mean, that's a fair statement. I think that, Jalen Hurts bothers me from a little bit about his current scheme or team that he's with. I feel like the Jets are more set for future success than the Philadelphia Eagles are with Hurts, because I feel like Hurts can get hurt very easily,
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, you just laid out your criteria, so
not in order. By the way, these are just the factors that I use. So it's not like I say, "Hey, look, past accomplishments is ahead of the current team and scheme." So don't think that that's the case. I'm just saying these are the metrics that I use. So you would have Jalen over Zach. Anybody else on this? Is there anybody on this list that you think would be a top 20 quarterback?
Top 20? No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So
Jalen Hurts skirts with it, right?
Yeah.
And I'd probably put Davis Mills a little bit higher. I don't know. Jameis, it's a fair list. Listen, it's a fair list.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting with people. I'm like, I could see, I said there's no player on my list that you would move more than 5 spots, any backwards or forwards, more than 5. I don't think there's any player that you'll end up seeing on my list over the next week and a half, because I'm going to release 5 players every day till we get to, number 1. I don't think there's any one player on the list that'll be up there. But, I think there's 2 things that stand out so far. Number 1, I have Tua as a top 20, right? So some people are like, I think he's a top 20, right? Some people think I have Zach Wilson too high. They agree with you. And some people think that, if we've also talked about this morning, would you rather have Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville or Zach Wilson in the Jets? Which one is better primed for success? Do you think Jacksonville's more set up for success right now, or is the Jets set up for more success right now? Out of those 2 teams,
I think the Jets are set up for better success.
Me too.
As a team.
Me too.
But Trevor Lawrence is the better quarterback.
But again, I put into account Andrevius made the point earlier. Trevor's ceiling, as it stands right now, is to be no better than Stafford was in Detroit.
And so where's Zach Wilson's ceiling? And listen, Stafford in Detroit was a top 10 quarterback. He just had a shit team around him.
Swear jar.
It's Friday.
No, swear jar.
On Fridays, it should be double, right?
Double. So that's $2 now. You look at you making the rules up here.
And listen,
man,
like by your criteria, Carson Wentz should be over Tua because he's been to the playoffs in past. He's been, he's a playoff quarterback.
Yeah, but he can't stay healthy. So part of his past accomplishments are health. And he has not been healthy. So I move him down on the list for that big time with Carson. When was the last time Carson?
He is in the twilight of his career. Agreed or not?
Who?
Wentz. Yeah.
Wentz will be lucky, I personally think, to make it out of the season and still have an opportunity to play.
My point is he's on the downside of his career. So
100%. And Tua's on the upside. And
Washington's a travesty, right?
Exactly.
They have 2 good wide receivers.
They don't even know what their ownership's going to do. They're that's a whole other topic that I wanted to get to this morning. But they don't even that is part of what I play into this list. Like for example, right, number 30, you have Kenny Pickett. Now people are like, "Well, you use past accomplishments," and I was like, "That is part of what I use." But if you're asking me, I think Kenny Pickett by the end of this year will start over Mitchell Trubisky. Right?
I could not disagree with you more.
Really? You think Mitchell Trubisky is going to start all 18 games this year?
If he's healthy, yes. And I think he'll be one of the surprise quarterbacks of this season.
I said that before they drafted Pickett. And if I had to pick, I think Pickett has a higher upside than Mitchell Trubisky.
Listen, Trubisky is not a bad quarterback. In fact,
he's not.
He's got all the tools to be an exceptional quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. Like they did him dirty in Chicago, and he still had his rookie season. He had a really good season.
He did.
And from what everybody says in Buffalo, like he could have run that offense and got that team to the playoffs.
Does that say more about Josh Allen not being?
No, it doesn't at all. It says that Mitchell Trubisky's worthy of a starting quarterback position in the NFL, and I don't agree with Pickett even being on this list.
So, and look, I can deal with that argument. I in my opinion, though, I don't think that they draft Pickett without them thinking in the back of their mind that he's part of their future. Otherwise, you have a much deeper quarterback draft next year. Why not go out and get a starting caliber player somewhere else? And worry about
there's other reasons
and see what happens with Mitchell Trubisky.
Pickett is a safe fallback because he was probably the highest rated quarterback coming out of this draft, and he's a Pittsburgh guy. They know him well,
very well. They work out in the same building.
Yeah, exactly. So, it was a comfortable situation, and as a rookie quarterback, that's what you want, right? And as a team drafting a quarterback, you want somebody that fits in. Pickett fits perfectly in the style and system that they run up there in Pittsburgh.
What about Daniel Jones? Do you think Daniel Jones should be higher, or what about his situation with the Giants?
I listen. I think Daniel Jones is a bust.
Me too. I think that as well. People get mad at me for saying that. I'm like, I don't know. I think if I had to look at all these quarterbacks, Daniel Jones is going to be the bust on this list out of all of them, like the biggest bust.
Yeah.
Wentz is the most disappointing, but not because of his ability. It's because he can't stay healthy. But Daniel Jones is a straight bust. Straight bust. And then Justin Fields, Davis Mills intrigues me a lot because he was a 3rd-round draft pick. Nobody expected him to be what he was. And I could see, I think you just said a little bit ago that maybe he could be higher on this list. But, it's still Houston. And
David Mills, man, he had some really good games last year, and
he beat the Chargers last year.
Again, another crap team built around him. He's got no tools to work with. Now he's got a defensive-minded head coach that, listen, he's not set up for success in my eyes,
Mm-hmm.
But he's a good quarterback. But he belongs right there in the bottom, 20, bottom 10 of your list for sure.
All right. Well, let me ask you, just out of curiosity, who do you think is going to be number 20 next week on Monday?
Oh man, that's a great. Who's the quarterback for Seattle now?
Drew Lock Drew Lock or Geno Smith. And by the way, I already said that they were number 30.
They should be over Kenny Pickett. Drew Lock's, started games in the NFL.
And I can deal with that argument. I just think that Kenny Pickett has a higher ceiling than those guys.
I'm really interested to see what Pete Carroll does with Drew Lock. Drew Lock came out of Missouri, if I'm not mistaken, and he showed a big gun and the ability to get the ball down the field, and that's the type of offense that Seattle likes to run up there. And they've got a couple track stars on their wide receiver room, and let's see if Locke can get him the ball. But he wasn't able to do it in Denver with consistency
at all.
But he's still a young.
But to that statement, nobody's been able to do that with the exception of Peyton Manning and John Elway.
Oh, you got
no other quarterback's been able to do it with consistency, right?
I agree.
Now, so I have Drew Lock and Sam Darnold. I have Sam Darnold 32 and Drew Lock at 31. But I just wanted to do top 30.
Is Sam Darnold even starting in Carolina?
He is. I think he will at the beginning of the season. But do we know what he'll do at the end of the season? That's up in the air.
Who else is on that roster?
They just drafted a quarterback. I think Carolina did.
I'm not
but to go back to the question, who do you think at 20? Do you have a guy that you think? Or I just curious to know who you think will be my number 20.
Who's the quarterback in Detroit right now?
Jared Goff.
Yeah, he's probably around there.
Okay, all right. We'll have to see on Monday. I'm writing this down. Cam thinks Jared Goff. I'm writing this down. Jared Goff. You'll have to tune in on Monday to find out. You hear me?
You hear? You hear?
You hear? All right. I'm enjoying doing this series. If you guys have questions, I'm going to post this on Twitter later. You can argue with me back and forth and debate me. I'm enjoying doing this little series. This will be a lot of fun. So on Monday, we will do number 20 through 16. So make sure you guys tune in for that. That will be a lot of fun. Okay. Let's get back into the world of sports. Game 6 tonight, Boston, Miami Heat. A little bit. We're going to talk Dolphins. We're going to get into the Dolphin talk. Don't go anywhere. We're just going to touch real quick on this Heat because I want to get Cameron's take on this. So if you're waiting for Dolphins talk, it's coming. Just chill. What do you think about the game tonight? Does Miami stand a chance in Game 6 in Boston?
Stand a chance. I think I texted you. Tweeted somebody that I predicted that the Heat were going to lose at home and win in Boston and come back, and there's going to be a Game 7 in Miami.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it's just that. I mean, and watch the refs make that happen too tonight. I will say this, that Bam, reverted back to his passive self in the last game, and that can't happen. Butler was noticeably bothered by whatever was going on with his knee and wasn't driving to the basket as he should. Lowry's gutting it out. Like, what's his name? The twin that comes off the bench for us.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Had a great game last game, and they need more of him on the field, on the court rather.
The one thing that surprised me about this series is inconsistency, right? People not showing up for every game. And the other thing that's bothered me too is we need, like Butler, don't get me wrong, he had an off game this last game in game 5, but
Caleb Martin.
But the other thing that surprised me too is, not everybody, Bam. Like Bam hasn't been here every game this series. And so it was funny because Joel Embiid on Twitter after game 5 tweeted, "Man, Miami needs one more big star player."
Yeah.
Which I thought was a very interesting tweet coming from Joel Embiid. What is your thought about that tweet from Joel Embiid, and do you agree with him?
Listen, they had the best record in the Eastern Conference, so I don't agree with it wholeheartedly. I think Bam and Butler and Embiid are boys, right? They were really close when they were in Philadelphia, and he didn't, Joel didn't say he wanted to come to Miami. He just said that Butler needs some more help. And I disagree from this aspect. Like Tyler Hero is injured, and he definitely would have been a difference maker in this. Max Strus is injured. Like he's nursing that groin injury. He was 0 for 6, I think, the last game, and Lowry was 0 for 9 or vice versa from 3-point. And
Strus was such a big difference maker in the first 3 games, though.
So those things were really impacting, the results of, especially the last game. So I think, I don't know if Hero's out tonight or not, if they'd said so or not, but
they have not that I'm aware of.
It's evident they're missing him big time, because not only he takes pressure off Butler, he takes pressure off Lowry, he handles the ball, he drives, and he's hitting, mid to, outside jumpers with regularity. And that takes pressure off Butler big time. So without Hero on the court, or Hero contributing, without Strus hitting his shots, who's it come down to? And Butler's limping around, and not driving to the basket. So does Boston's packing the paint?
Does Boston have more depth?
They have more healthy depth.
Okay. That's fair. That's a fair statement.
Yeah,
I like that.
They're healthier right now. And that's without 100% Marcus Smart. He's limping around as well. But Jaylen Brown, there's the Heat haven't had a real answer to Jaylen Brown outside of Oladipo, but for some reason Oladipo isn't getting a lot of run.
He's not on the court as much as I was hoping he would.
No, and I'd like to see Oladipo and Caleb Martin get a lot more minutes, because they bring energy, intensity, and they drive to the hoop. They can win one-on-one versus the Celtics.
Do you put that on Spo? Do you put that on Coach Spoelstra?
Yeah, I do.
The onus goes on him to see that and do that. Here's my biggest thing of it, right? My biggest thing is, if you go back and you look at the games where the Heat lost, they lost for one reason primarily, right? Cold shooting is a part of it, right? But there are 2 games this series where they went like 7 for 35 in the 3-point. If they had taken just a third of those 3-pointers and decided to go to the hole, their free throws would have went up, because they would have got to the line more, and they would have probably made more 2s than they did 3s. And it would have made there's at least one game it would have flipped it and they would have won it, and it definitely would have made game 5 closer. Would have made game 5 a lot closer.
You start penetrating, and it packs the defense in, right? Like,
yep.
Right now the Celtics have no fear much of an outside shooter, because they're not driving to the lane. So they're collapsing on Bam. Bam's not being aggressive. No one's hitting the outside shot, so they're not really worried about Strus or Robinson.
Yep.
They just got to hit some of those outside shots, and they have to have Bam, roll into the basket and creating, paint points.
I agree. I 100% agree. And I think there was a couple of games that it was 15, 11 free throw shots. That's it, and you have to get to the line more. You have to. It stops the clock, gives you a chance to get points when the clock's not moving. It gives you a chance to maybe get the ball back. You just need to. And I think tonight, I personally think that that the Heat just need to be more aggressive inside the paint. And if they're more aggressive inside the paint, they win this game tonight. They win it.
Bam needs to dominate, from the jump. He needs to be assertive. He needs to, take the ball to the rack and be assertive from the jump. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah. So in your opinion, though, that does happen. Miami wins Game 6 tonight, and we see a Game 7 in Miami on, I guess Sunday. It would be Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Be a nice little Memorial Day on Sunday, man.
Are you kidding me? It'd be awesome. I might have to go down to that.
Got Indianapolis 500, Coca-Cola 600, Miami Heat, Boston Celtics Game 7. Life just can't get much better.
Got the Rangers losing last night, which was awesome.
Don't tell Doll Freaky that. She's going to get mad. Don't do that.
Doll Freaky's having her Southwest Finns
Florida,
fans.
That's going to be
her barbecue this weekend. So if you're all out there in Fort Myers, Naples, hit her up.
They're doing a bar crawl tonight. They're doing a bar crawl tonight in Southwest or Naples, and then they have the thing tomorrow, which will be a lot of fun for them. Be good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and let's get into what I told you. Did you get a chance to look at everything with this 49ers Javon Kinlaw stuff?
Man, yes.
All right, so for those of you who don't know, there was a reporter on he's a YouTuber, okay, with the San Francisco 49ers, and he got credentialed. And from what I have witnessed and what I have seen in this thing, is his name is Grant Cohn. He has not done anything except be very critical of this player, but nothing more than that about this player. Javon Kinlaw, who was a first-round pick of the San Francisco 49ers, took us some type of way. I played this yesterday. If you go back and watch yesterday's show, you'll see the clip of Grant Cohn talking about the interaction during practice where Kinlaw comes over, gets in his face, touches him, and pretty much calls him, you know what? We'll use words, but I don't want to use it on the morning show. I did use it yesterday, but because I was playing it. And then he did a stream later on that day, a live stream, same way as I do, brings Javon Kinlaw up there, and things go a little haywire from there. And so there is a side of people, a majority of people that are actually siding with Kinlaw, which surprises me. But there is a good group of, I think, fans that are like, what did Grant Cohn do? He did nothing wrong. And Javon Kinlaw didn't carry himself in a way either that made him look to be this great guy. But I've been very surprised with two things. There's been a lot of support. There's been a lot of support from national reporters siding with Kinlaw, saying that Grant Cohn conducted himself in a bad manner, which I don't think that he did. Even Pat McAfee said, how did this guy become a credentialed member of the press? And there's been a lot of former players coming to the aid of Kinlaw. But I don't think Kinlaw, it's not that I thought Kinlaw did a horrible thing. I just think he acted out of character, and he did threaten the guy as far as I'm concerned. What is your thoughts?
So me included, you included, everybody in this panel, we use this forum on YouTube and social media to be critical or praise somebody somebody at their job. Their job happens to be sports and entertainment. Mm-hmm. And obviously Javon Kinlaw is aware of things that are said, mm-hmm. in the media, social media. And I think he has every right to confront, the folks that are saying those things to him.
Me too. I don't think
what he said and how he went about it, I think, is more funny than anything else. My balls is bigger than yours. It's pretty funny. I mean, I should put that on a T-shirt.
I'm sure people are.
But it goes back to something I said a few weeks ago on the show, is that the line between, social media has created an atmosphere where the access to players and teams are that boundary is a lot smaller or is a lot less shaded, mm-hmm. And these things are bound to happen. They're people, right? They can only hear so many negative things, whether it's true or not. And he chose to confront, this reporter or YouTuber or whatever he is, and address it that way. Most 99% of the athletes out there, they decide just to ignore it, right?
Yeah.
And not engage. I think we have access to Xavier Scruggs, and he's an ex-player, and I think that's a privilege, right? And I think it should be treated as such. And whether they're current players or past players, I think there should be respect for them, because that's the job that they're in. Obviously, we're paying fans, and we're allowed to be critical.
Yep.
And we use this platform to be critical of players that are not performing up to our expectations, whether Correct. It's warranted or not. But I don't think it should be a surprise if a player goes out and says, who is this clown, and whatever.
I have no problem with him saying, yo, bro, you're a clown. That stuff doesn't necessarily bother me to a certain extent, right? Like, I think the way Javon Kinlaw went about it was overboard and even threatening in his demeanor, in my opinion. But I will also say, and you say that, but I think it sets a precedent. That player. Here's two things, right? I'm going to play Pat McAfee's view on this here in a minute, which I was very surprised, because I thought McAfee would have been for Cohen, and he's not. He's against Cohen
because he's a player. McAfee is a player.
I get
right?
it.
He's gonna protect the shield, and as he should.
I was very surprised that McAfee backed up Kinlaw over Cohen. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and play it, and then I'll say my piece in here, because I think it's relevant in the fact. I just think it's a very interesting take. Now, Pat McAfee does cuss on his show, so just beware of that if you're listening at home or with kids. But I don't think he goes off on a too big of a tirade when it comes to cussing. So let's just go ahead and play it.
I felt like a big bad dummy when I watched the video of Javon Kinlaw, and a media member for the San Francisco 49ers who has a credential to go into the building every single day, be a part of the press pool, walk around the locker room, walk around practice, and he's on the field, I think, game day and afterwards in the locker room, a fully credentialed member of the media interviewing Javon Kinlaw of the San Francisco 49ers, and it got pretty hostile. And I thought to myself, man, what the fuck is going on here? This guy, I mean, I love what he's saying. I enjoy what he's saying. But the NFL and the Niners are not going to be happy about this at all. This took place a couple days ago between Javon Kinlaw and a credentialed member of the NFL media, Grant Cohn.
Put some respect on my name, brother. I'm a man just like you. My nuts is bigger than yours, brother.
I asked you what I said about you.
My balls is bigger than yours, brother. Put some respect on my name.
All right.
Put some respect on my name, brother. Stop talking about me like I'm an animal or something, brother.
What did I say about you?
Don't worry about none of that. Don't worry about none of that. You already know.
Javon, if you're gonna come on my channel,
you want to try to bring me
tell me
hardcore facts, bro.
You can come
Javon,
from
you
the
can come on my
cognac.
channel and tell me what to say and what not to say. You should have some. You should have some posts. What I say about
that, nobody fucks with that. Nobody fucks with you. You don't even understand that. Nobody fucks with you, brother. You need to go find a new job. Nobody fucks with you.
What does that mean?
What you mean? What it mean? Nobody fucks with you.
It's amazing.
Are you sure? Nobody fucks with you, fam. And the only reason I'm getting on here stooping to your level this low is because I feel like it got to be done. Somebody got to do it, and it's going to be me. Somebody got to press you, fam. You like to come on here and try to bully people on the internet. But when I press up on you in fucking person, you fucking shaking like a cow with voice lighter than my fucking baby. What's up with that?
I'm scared of you, Javon?
What's up with that, fam?
You think I'm scared of you, Javon?
Damn, I don't give a fuck if you are or not. All I know is when I walked up on you, your fucking body temperature was fucking cold as ice. Straight bitch. Straight bitch. Your fucking balls shriveled up. Little dick nigga.
Hey, Javon, do you think you're representing the 49ers well right now? Javon, do you think the 49ers are proud of what you're saying right now?
Stop playing with me like
how is this not a bigger story?
Okay, so this became a massive story in the San Francisco 49ers faithful, obviously, because Grant Cohn, being a credentialed, by the NFL and by the Niners, credentialed media member in there every single day, Grant Cohn, having an interview with obviously a player for the Niners on his channel in front of the Cognacs, brother. Okay, it's his channel in front of the Cognacs. He invited him on there. So that took off. I had seen it. A lot of people tweeted it to me, and I'm like, man, like I everything he said in there, it came from what sounded like a guy who hated another person and let him know about it. He said somebody had to do it, so fuck it, I'll be the one. I hate you. Now the way he said it, how he went about going doing it, I immediately, as soon as seen it, I'm like, oh no, like this is going to end up terribly for Javon Kinlaw. This is going to be the Niners are going to get so
at least
mad.
He said it to his face, and he didn't do it anonymously, or he didn't, do it behind his back.
I agree, but the way it was delivered, I thought there was going to be massive issues. Yeah. So I immediately had to think to myself, well, what has this guy done to Kinlaw or to anybody that he was referencing that would make them this pissed off? And then he provided us an answer. He actually put this video out a day after this entire event happened, just Tuesday, I believe.
I just don't understand why you're so mad. Like, Javon, what are you upset about? Is it the fact that I said you have an 80-year-old knee? Is it the fact that I said that you're a terrible pass rusher and you're just a two-down player? Is it the fact that I said the Niners shouldn't have drafted you and they should have taken Tristan Wirfs instead? Is it the fact that I said that you're unprofessional and immature? It escapes me which of the 100 negative things I've said about Javon Kinlaw the last couple of years moved him to approach me in such a way. But you know what? I applaud Javon Kinlaw.
That actually came out before.
Why don't you say this to him when he was on your show?
What do you think Javon's mad about?
He was trying
to. Okay, so he asked us, what do you think? And obviously, earlier in same video, he chatted about seeing Javon Kinlaw in real life at practice. And Javon Kinlaw actually put a rap song together about him. You a bitch, you a sucker ass bitch. And while he was walking around, and obviously Grant Cohn didn't say anything at the time, waited until the stadium was completely empty there that he was at, and cut a promo back. Once again, this is a credentialed member of the media, one that is probably introduced to the players. This guy will be following you around this season. He'll be in our locker room. He'll be in the building. He'll be covering our team. Not easy to get credentialed, by the way. Not easy. You have to think to yourself, how the fuck did this guy become a credentialed member of the press with this type of shit going on, especially in the NFL when it's incredibly impossible to get into it? Then he reveals the answer in another video that he was streaming live while doing a Q&A.
No, I know what they're about to do.
Because my dad was in the industry.
Go ahead. Did you have something, or did you want me to keep going?
No, keep going, because he just
I know it's about right no, but they don't play. I'm gonna play something after this.
I'd have been scared if he was coming to me like that.
I was very young. Because honestly, if he had touched me, if he pushed me, dude, I could have retired today.
Oh, stop.
That's what went through my mind. I'm like, oh damn, I'm about to retire. I'm about to be out of the game.
Because he's a bitch ass punk.
Thanks to Javon.
Grant Cohn?
Yes.
But no, I got to keep working.
If that's his mentality,
he displays, what nepotism has done for him.
Pause. We're taking this way out of context because what y'all don't see in the rest of that video, because I'm about to pull it up and play it for y'all clowns, because y'all want to bring up all these little small clips. Okay? Watch this and then put your whole thing up here. Okay? Here we go. Let me pull this up. This is part of the entire this is what he goes on to say in this stream.
It's like, this was big. But then as like it kind of settled in and I thought what happened, like I appreciate it and it was fun and all, but it wasn't good. And it wasn't good for him. It was good for me, but it wasn't good for him. It wasn't good for reporters. Like he can't do that. I can't allow, like, that can't be the norm. You can't allow athletes to, try to intimidate and smack that. This is the helm. This is the cap off. You can't let athletes smack the cap off a reporter's head. I mean, I couldn't do that to Javon. If I went over to Javon Kinlaw and smacked the cap off his head, my career would be over.
True.
Over. As it should be. And I'm not saying his career should be over, but he can't do that. You can't do that kind of stuff. So now I'm thinking like it's kind of a sad day for like athlete media relations in general. Like he kind of crossed the line and I owe it to the rest of my, colleagues to not let that happen. So there's that. But there's the other part is like, dude, Javon, you're mad at me. I don't even know why, but probably because of some criticism I said about you. Like, what, that you can't stay healthy?
True.
That you're not a good pass rusher? Like,
true.
Here's how you handle that. Prove me wrong. Just go out on the field, be healthy, and sack the quarterback. If you do that, I'll eat my words. I'll praise you. If you don't believe me, ask Jimmy Ward. Ask Eric Armstead. Jimmy Ward in particular. I was very hard on Jimmy Ward. That's another first-round pick who seemed like a bust the first few years. But he didn't have the injury excuse like you do, Javon. People just called him a bust. I called him a bust. I didn't understand all the money that he was getting. I was wrong. Finally, like a couple of years ago, thanks to Robert Saleh, Vish Kumaran, and a lot of well-meaning 49ers analysts and employees, I came to realize that Jimmy Ward has a unique and rare combination of man coverage ability against tight ends and tackling.
All right. What like that is the whole, what he was saying, because it was taken out of context, is if he had touched me, I would have been rich. That's what would have happened. But he goes on to say that's not what I was trying to do.
But that's what he said.
But he was putting
that came out of his mouth.
But it's a fact.
What if Omar Kelly said that? You'd be all over his shit.
Omar Kelly has said has said wild and out crap on his platform 1,000,001 times.
Listen, there was a barrier crossed by Javon Kinlaw touching the reporter. Granted, he should be fined. He should be fined.
I think he should be definitely disciplined. He should be disciplined. How about that?
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is, should be disciplined.
And Homeboy's media credentials should be revoked.
No, why? He didn't do nothing.
Listen, you cannot allow the reporters to wag the tail here. To the tail wag the dog, rather.
Because they took a soundbite off of what he was saying in context.
Doesn't matter. Like, he cannot do that.
That he did, Cameron. He literally said, "Hey, this is what would have happened. I would have got paid if that would have happened."
Listen, you don't know what was said on the sideline. Nobody does because
we don't. But we're gonna take a sound clip or a soundbite and make it seem like we can't have that. Every media reporter has.
But that's not just about the soundbite, right?
Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah, there's something said there was something said by this guy, this credentialed reporter, to Javon Kinlaw, obviously to incite that. Whether it was past dialogue or dialogue that happened on the sideline that day. Listen, like I said before, the boundary between players, teams, and reporters from all stages, whether it's credential or non-credential, is shrunken, right? And let me finish. There needs to be a better boundary between either the players and the access that media, credential or non-credential, have to these players, right? There needs to be more respect, I think, both ways. And this is just a microcosm of what it's come to, an example of what it's come to. Like, listen, you guys also got to understand who you're talking to, man. Javon Kinlaw grew up homeless in D.C. Like he went to school at South Carolina to play football and pretty much nothing else, right? Like, he's not about.
That should excuse him for acting the way that he acted?
No, I didn't say that, did I?
Okay.
But what I did say is this reporter should understand a little bit more his subject matter.
What you didn't hear in that clip, Cameron, is he goes, or in the clip with Javon Kinlaw on the stream, he's like, my family knows what you look like, man. Keep playing. My family knows what you look like. If that's not a threat, I don't know what is.
That's what That's what he gets for not knowing his subject matter, man.
But so two things here. Number one, number one, I don't think that Grant Cohn did anything wrong. Is Grant Cohn a sucker for maybe saying that? I can deal with that argument if that's how you see it. Would I have said that? No, I would not have said that. But I also think he was stating that, and this is the context that I took it in, is he was stating that to say, hey, look, if this would have happened, I would never had to work again. And he goes,
and that's a bitch-ass thing to say.
But dude, he was trying to make a point, and he goes on further to make it. He's like, I don't.
You don't say that shit because he just killed himself, right? Like it just painted himself as a soft ass bitch. And that's what it did.
I disagree.
But that's what it did.
I disagree,
dude. And you know why I'm here? My daddy, my family. My daddy got me this job.
No, two things. Number one, that's the.
Why would you even say that?
Because he was stating he's like, my father grew up in this industry. I understand how this works. I'm not just somebody from off the street. I've seen it at its worst. I've seen it at its best. He was bringing context into what he was saying.
Listen, they're both in the wrong, and they both should be.
I don't understand how Grant Cohn was in the wrong, with the exception of that small statement. And even then, he was literally just putting it in to, hey, this is what could have happened. That's it.
They both should be disciplined. Bottom line.
So it's okay. Let's find Javon Kinlaw, but let's take the media credentials away from this kid who this
he's
reporter.
Not a kid. He's been reporting with.
I should have said kid. This reporter. And take away his livelihood how
it's
he
not
makes
his
money.
livelihood. He has every opportunity to find other ways to talk about the team.
But this is how he's been making his income.
You got to reprimand him in some way.
Okay, so you say, hey, look, we're going to take away your press credential for a year, and then you can get it back next year.
That's fair.
I mean, and that's extreme, by the way. That's extreme.
No, it's not. How is that extreme? And it goes down to my point is that the boundary between the players, teams, and media has shrunken, and it needs to be more substantial.
So but using your theory or your thought, then anybody who's ever said anything negative about Tua, that's a reporter or a beat writer that is credentialed by the team, their shit should be taken. And yes, I cussed. I'm upset right now.
But listen, Steve,
you're hamstringing the reporters.
Bullshit, Steven. You haven't seen Tua knock the hat off of somebody. They haven't gotten in a confrontation, right?
Tua's not going to do that.
Exactly.
Tua's not that guy.
Exactly. You know what?
Tua's not about that life.
Because it's fair and critical. And what this guy said, about Javon Kinlaw in the past is fair and critical. Kinlaw saw him on the sideline. They had words, obviously, and it got mildly physical because he hit his cap off.
He walked over across the field to where the press were. The press can only stay in one place. And then he literally said, I pressed up against Javon Kinlaw said, I put my body on you. I pressed up against you. If we want to play that game, which he's not, by the way, but since y'all want to play this game that you're going down this road, that's assault, brother. That is assault.
They both should be disciplined.
All right, I'm gonna drop the link for Roach because Roach wants to explain to you something. This is for Roach. I'll bring on Roach for a second.
Shit to me, man. It's like they both should be disciplined. Period.
You owe like $10 to the swear jar this morning.
Fuck.
Those are $2 each. God, I just think it sets up a very bad. And I think here's the other problem to this too. Before I bring Roach on, the biggest thing is he was a YouTuber. He's not somebody affiliated with a newspaper.
He still has a media credential, just like the newspapers.
That's fine, but I don't think a player would go after a guy who is credentialed.
Bring up Roach, man.
What's up, guys? How are y'all doing?
Man, it's doing better than time is Friday, man, and we've already reached our quota of swear words.
So, have you all actually watched his prior video? I spent like 5 hours watching his videos. I did a whole live stream on this last night, breaking all of it down.
Okay, go ahead. We're listening, Roach.
So all of his stuff was never personal. So Cameron, when you assume that he said something to get that response from him, it was all critiques about his
Andrevius said that too. I'm calling out Andrevius because he said that too.
But we don't know that, right?
We do know that. It's on YouTube.
No, we don't know what was said on the sideline.
Nothing. Like that's
Javon Kinlaw didn't dispute what the interaction was on the sideline.
There was the whole crew of reporters already around him when all this happened. So they would have reported on it if he did do that. But they actually came and defended him, the other reporters.
Yep.
So they all wrote their own little articles about it. So the whole field happened. And then after that field happened, he made those videos with the stadium empty. So Pat McAfee had the videos in reverse order.
Correct. He made it. Pat McAfee made it seem like that video was made after whatever.
So the millionaire, So then he did his stream where he basically was like, "Hey, you came at me like that. Here's the link. Come on my show." And it happened that Javon was watching the show and he came on. Right. My problem. I don't have a problem with what Javon said or did. I just don't think he should have been representing the team. He should have took off his 49er shirt, put on a regular shirt. And if he was going to approach that reporter like that, he should not have done it on 49ers property. He should have done it outside the property.
What are you talking about? Like during that first interaction?
First and on YouTube, he should not been wearing a 49er shirt.
Okay. So you bring up all valid things, right?
So it gets worse. There's more to this.
Okay.
So then he does his live stream, right?
Yep.
And during the live stream, he has his dad on, and he's basically going to his dad as like a mentor, like, "Hey, did I do this wrong?" And his dad's like, "You did do some stuff wrong." And then his dad was like, "You should," but his dad's also was a reporter who went after the players. He was one who called him out like a Skip.
He was critical. He was very critical.
Yep. And he admits it. And he said, "That's what my job was to be."
Yep.
And so he's like, "That's what I taught my son to be as a reporter." Cause it's like a form of entertainment. You know what I mean? And so
I still have yet to, by the way, just for context, I've yet to hear anything Grant Cohn has done incorrectly. Just keep going.
I don't think he did anything wrong.
I agree.
So then this whole incident happened. So Grant Cohn then went to John Lynch and said, "I want to sit down." And this was before he did his live stream yesterday. So he had to sit down the day before with John Lynch.
Oh, so Grant Cohn, the YouTuber, went to John Lynch to say, "Let's do this behind closed doors.
Yes.
Let's try to make this."
So after he had the stream with Javon on it, he then next day,
after the stream. Okay, all right.
The next day, he called his dad before he went to practice, and he asked his dad for advice. His dad said, "Talk to the GM, get a sit down." So that's what he did. He went there. They had a sit down. They actually shook hands and they squashed it. Those two, and nobody got fined. And he still has his credentials by the NFL and by the 49ers. So. And people say he's a troll and they hate on him. I never watched any of his stuff before this.
And why would you? You're not a 49ers fan, but I get you.
Well, I went back because I love researching. So I went back and watched video after video after video, right? And so basically he got with the 49ers because he had over 40,000 subscribers, right? Yep. He's been doing it for 11 years.
And just for context, our longest YouTuber would probably be Dougley Do Wrong, who has over 30,000 subscribers, who's been doing this about 4.5 years. Right. This guy has over 40,000 and has been doing it for 11. But go ahead.
So he actually asked for credentials, and they went and reviewed his YouTube channel and gave him credentials, and did the whole application process. Then they've seen all this stuff, and not one time has the team or anybody went to him and told him to stop. And he's even like, there's points where he gets into it with Shanahan during the pressers, like how we have Daniel go there and he's sitting in the room, where those two, like, you'll see anytime he asks a question, Shanahan gets pissed.
So you're telling me that the 49ers don't allow the press to do their job and don't stand in their way?
No, so basically,
I'm saying that is a good thing. You're saying that the 49ers
for him,
allow.
He's the only one that isn't under that contract where he has to follow these, because he's a YouTuber. So he's not under ESPN. He would have had to sign the same agreement.
He still represents Sports Illustrated. Right. He's got to have some regulation on it.
So my thing is, though, he's not there under Sports Illustrated. He's there as himself.
His YouTube.
Yes,
that's fine. That's fair.
But they're allowing it. So everything he's doing is allowed by the 49ers. Otherwise, they would hit him on it.
Okay. I think what you're bringing in is great, because you're giving it a context that we need to look at this from.
Right.
I would say, in my opinion, Grant Cohn never did anything wrong. I think that he said the statement that he said to do it. And to Cameron's point, I'm very surprised McAfee had the stance that he had on it, but McAfee's a former player. And it seems like the 90% of the people that are coming to Javon Kinlaw's aid are former players. People
or current players, or teammates.
Yes. He didn't have the time to look at all those videos before he went on air.
That's true.
And he didn't see the live stream. He didn't have the info.
He's seeing snippets. He's seeing clips of what people are sending him.
You guys, I'll bring up a point. Like, just because the team, the organization allows this player with access, the media credentials and into the locker room, doesn't mean the players like him or accept him in that role, right?
Right now, they can't go in the locker. All they have access to is the press room, and they got this little caged area on the sideline, and that's it. But
Roach, my point is that just because the team, the organization, the management says, you have access or you have a credential, to your point, doesn't mean the team has to accept him as or respect him.
No.
At all, right? So that's kind of why you're seeing all the former players and current teammates coming to his defense, is because they, on a whole, don't like this Cohn guy for whatever reason.
No, that's cool. I'm totally okay. My only thing is the people trying to cancel this guy for what he's saying. Like, there's people out there.
If you go to Twitter, they are after Grant Cohn's head.
They want his channel taken down.
You need to take Grant Cohn's channel down. He's a clown. He's the problem with people. So what I'll say to it is, number one, it's out of context, right? You don't have all that. I appreciate what Roach did. Roach went back and did all the legwork for this, right?
There's a lot of fake UFO stuff I have to search through.
Number two, it doesn't allow for people like me who runs a YouTube channel or runs a media platform that basically lives on YouTube, access to for other, because now fans are going to be like, well, he's a YouTuber and YouTubers are clowns anyway.
Right.
That's not fair. As a matter of fact, I would go into more context or detail to say that I think YouTubers, for the most part, not all, YouTubers for the most part are people that are telling it like it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like most beat reporters, not all, most beat reporters are handcuffed by what they can say or what they can show because of relationships between their employer and the organization.
They have editors, everything over them.
Correct. I am my own editor. So if I want to come in here and say that Jesse Davis is the worst offensive lineman in the history of the Miami Dolphins, there's no repercussions except for if somebody disagrees with that and I have to deal with that. Right. Or if Jesse Davis himself got onto my platform and said, bro, why are you saying this about me? Well, let me show you why, Jesse. Here's my evidence.
Yeah.
Which is what I think Grant Cohn was trying to do by bringing him. Dude, I wanted to talk to you. I asked for you to provide you evidence so that I could then rebuttal and say, well, this is why I said that. This is why I said that.
And his whole millionaire comment, was a joke. It was sarcasm.
It was sarcasm.
And I was like, how does Pat not see? Pat does stand up. I'm like, how doesn't he see it's a joke?
It wasn't a joke. It was providing context, an understanding of this entire situation in its totality.
Yeah, it's like when your buddy's telling you what happened to him, and he's like, "Man, I could have sued the crap out of that dude if he would have hit me." He's not really wasn't really planning on it. He's just talking.
But your words have your words have repercussions, right?
But if you listen,
he put it out there, whether it was a joke or not. He put it out there. It's going to be taken now and spun.
If I make a joke about, say, a kid getting a old Roman kid falling in a hole and dying, and just this random joke about a kid, does that mean that
it wasn't even a joke? That's a bad example because it wasn't even a joke. If you listen to the entire stream,
I did.
He was literally putting it into context. He's saying, I could have done this, but he goes on to say, that's not what I was trying to do, nor did I want to do. I feel like crap because now I feel like this is putting a black eye on relationships between players and media credentialed people.
And maybe he'll think moving forward how he'll approach certain players to talk about certain players, right?
I don't know if
he'll have to.
You shouldn't have to, but I don't think it'll be how he talks about them. I just think he'll do differently on how he talks about the interactions with those people. And if I'm and somebody said, well, his dad, what did you say, Roach? His dad said he made some mistakes. Did you know what his dad said? What mistakes did he make?
I don't think he listed them. He just said, you made mistakes. And he goes, Javon made mistakes.
If I had to guess, and I'm just guessing here, I would say that his dad probably said, you probably shouldn't have aired the interaction that happened in public. I would have addressed that behind closed doors. Right? His dad never would have said that.
I would have aired it. I would have aired it in a minute.
We would in 2022, but his dad, who was doing this 40 years ago, that never would have went down like that.
Because as a host of a show, if you got a guy who's coming on like that, you not airing it, you're not doing your job.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it's good for that person or not, they clicked the link, they came on your show.
Just so y'all know, I've tried to reach out to Grant Cohn to try to have him come on, but he hasn't even read my thing yet.
Oh, he actually, while Pat McAfee was addressing him, he was addressing Pat McAfee. Did you see that?
I did not.
People were sending him super chats. Pat just said this. Pat just said that, right?
But back to my point is about the gray area and the boundaries, right? So like there's a proliferation of YouTube channels, Twitter, experts, what have you. And all of these comments and public perceptions, they get filtered into the players, right? Like obviously Javon Kinlaw knows this guy, got onto his YouTube feed. I'm sure there's players that have been in and out of, Stevens or Roach's Yours or TD's, podcasts and YouTube channels off and on over the years. My whole point is that, people are more sensitive because it's more exposed, right?
There's more eyes on it.
And so there's going to be more opinions, and it's going to be probably a bigger issue than it should be. And believe me, 2 weeks from now, nobody's going to be talking about this because we're going to be an OTA. Right. So, it's today's news, and it won't be nothing on Monday.
Todd said he got his media credential because he's affiliated with Sports Illustrated, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, and that if that is the case, and I'll work on just getting that clarified. That would make more sense because I'm like, a YouTuber got press credentialed? That's crazy.
Steven's like, how can I get mine?
How can I get mine, bro? Because I know that the Dolphins don't.
I guarantee his channel had something to do with it. 48,000 subscribers has something to do with it.
But I'll tell you this also, so if you're the San Francisco 49ers, if you're, Lynch and the management up there or whoever handles, the media, so to support the team, don't you have to make an example out of Cohen?
Apparently not, from what Roach just said. Roach said,
but if he makes John Lynch, actually, he quoted John Lynch, said, "Hey, that's a great idea. Let's do it." So it was. I think it's bad for the 49ers to punish a reporter for that, because then all the other it's almost like when Trump kicked that one guy from CNN took his credentials. It's just like that.
Hey, Chris, Finn's Tailgate, can you come on? If you can, put it in the chat and I'll bring you on, Chris.
Do you remember that, Steven, when he kicked that CNN reporter out, took his credentials? Trump
Who?
did it. Trump.
Oh, you're talking about media? Yes, I do know that. But that's
and
that's politics. That's a totally.
But that's like a
scenario.
like the backlash. I'm saying if he does that to the media here with Cohen,
but
rest of the media room is going to be like, what the hell?
That's not true in this case, and let me tell you why, Roach. Because he's considered a YouTuber. If he got credentialed as a Sports Illustrated person, that's one thing, right?
Okay, so how come if I go YouTube, I could go Google right now and I could pull up 5 articles all defending him.
I'm with you on
so
this.
I'm saying those.
Grant.
So I'm saying those reporters are with him that are in that room. So I think they would stick up for him.
I mean,
the team.
Maybe, but they also. Here's where. So this is the thing I've always said about Omar Kelly, right? And I've never met Omar, or I have met Omar on a couple occasions with Solo
Can't
and
stand
just said
him,
hello.
but he can.
But I've never had a conversation with him. Never had a conversation with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know him from Adam and Eve when it comes to him and his personal life or how he goes about his business or anything like that. I just know the perception around Omar in the fan base is a controversial one. I don't even want to say negative. I'll say controversial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And with that being said, I know for a fact that Omar can only say certain things and not really get out how he feels.
Right.
Because he would lose his press pass. He can't do certain things because the Dolphins have that handcuffed on him.
You want to know what they are? Cohn listed out in that live stream every rule he has to follow as a press guy on the sideline at practice. What he's allowed to take notes of, what he's not allowed to take notes of. Obviously no photographs until approved time. Like they can't randomly take photographs. They have to wait for they'll say for the next 30 minutes, photos are allowed. You know what I mean? Just
all right. This is for this link is for whatchamacallit, is for Finn's Tailgate real quick because he runs a YouTube channel and I just want to get his opinion on this. Because I think it's interesting when you run a YouTube channel, which I do.
Your media.
I can give myself that credit, but I am the one giving myself that credit, right?
But
I host a morning show. I give my opinions. That credit?
Nobody controls that title.
Here's the thing, Roach. The people that are watching right now are choosing to listen to me, right?
Right.
They're choosing to hear they're choosing to hear what my opinion on something. They don't have to agree with it. They don't have to like it. And they also can choose to turn it off at any point in time, which a lot of them do. Okay. But what I will say to that is their prerogative. That is their point. With Grant Cohn, he does the same thing, right? He has an opportunity to say, here, real quick, let me bring on El Capitan because I know he's what's up, El Capitan?
What's happening, boys?
What's going on, man?
We're trying to protect our YouTubers, bro.
Living the dream. I
want to get. Do you know the full ins and outs of this?
Yeah, I know the full ins and outs.
Okay, go ahead. I want to hear. I want to hear your view because you run a YouTube channel. Do you? I guess my first question to you is: do you think Grant Cohn did anything wrong here? The YouTuber.
I mean, I think he handled it. Yeah, I'm here. I think he handled it a couple of bad ways. I understand his bit, and I think there's a place for it too. I don't think any of us can really argue about we can't all and the teams, as far as media goes, would always love nothing but roses, but you got to have somebody that has an objective mind, going on what you were saying about Omar Kelly. I respect that he's probably not a Dolphins fan reporting on it. I need an objective mind because, and I do a lot of this on my channel, and I catch flack for it too. That last episode when I picked up the stream from you on Tuesday, I've gotten so much hate over that. People are like, oh, Teddy's terrible. It's just, look, it's not about that. I'm not going to have a single thought narrative that's only fed from the team or for a team that's, just propaganda at times. Not that I'm against selling hope or anything like that, but it's good to have objectivity. And I mean, listen, I need a press pass. That guy needs to hook it up. You know what I'm saying? I need a press pass. But him having a press pass, him pushing it the way he did on a person and a personal level, like going after someone for years, I could understand why that person would have it in. It feels a little bit more personal. And that guy won, really, the YouTuber. He got a player to come on his show and come at him. Granted, he works for Sports Illustrated too, so it's not like he
has affiliates with them. Now, do I know if he from what I hear from Todd, he got his media or his press pass from because of his affiliation with SI? But again, so this is the point I'm trying to make. My entire point. All I wanted to do was show that I don't believe Grant Cohn did anything wrong, and I think that what happened with Javon Kinlaw sets a bad precedent with not only media credentialed employees, but also YouTubers like myself. Who is to stop somebody from being like, hey, Steven, I know where you are. I know where you live. I know what your face looks like. I just want you to know that, bro.
So
that's a straight threat. That's a straight threat.
For me personally, Steven, real on this is a virtual reality, and yet there is still real world consequences at times. I don't begrudge the player for handling his business, maybe the way he did, especially using the slurs in a threatening manner. But the guy kind of, it was a give and take there. Maybe off camera they could have a better conversation.
Well, it sounds like they did. It sounds like they did.
Yeah, to me, like, I don't know. Me personally, like, I don't take threats like that. I don't know how to explain it. I wouldn't, if someone were to come at me in a threatening manner, I would act in kind. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me personally. Now I have family and kids, so if I felt threatened in that matter, maybe I'd feel a little different. But when you're on the other end of this conversation being critical, you should be allowed to be criticized. So I don't get mad at people who come at me and they hate me. Oh, I'm unsubscribing your channel. This is fake news, pushing a narrative, using Tua's name. It's all BS to me. Like, everyone who covers a football team uses everyone's name. You know what I'm saying? Like, controlling a narrative and pushing one thing one way or another, I don't like. So I like freedom on all aspects. And if you're not freedom of consequence, like I heard Pat McAfee say, I thought it was very smart. You put words out, someone don't like it, you got the consequences. You got to just kind of own up to it. You know what I'm saying?
What did he say wrong that's any different from any other reporter that's been doing this for the last 20 years, Chris?
So for me, I would imagine that it felt a little bit more personal to the player, and the player dealt with it how he saw it fit. I would ill-advise the player and the reporter on how he did it, but I understand.
Why? But you don't know how he did it.
Well, I'm not going to go through the however many years of this guy talking crap about said player forever.
Javon Howell hasn't been in that many years, but
who?
Listen, bottom line is both guys are
subject
of this issue, right? Both guys are the subject.
They're both
of
in the
issue.
wrong, Cameron.
Exactly.
Wrong. No way.
So that's exactly what I was about to say. They both should be disciplined in some way.
Grant Cohn did nothing wrong.
Do you think TD is in the wrong for what he does?
What's that?
Is TD wrong?
I don't think TD's in the wrong for what he does.
No.
But if he does,
so then how is Cohn?
So listen, if you do what you do, and there's reaction to it, that is what it is. That's my point.
So hold on to that point, Roach. And I don't want to speak for TD, but TD knows when TD opens and says something that there's reactions, that there are consequences to his saying. And by the way, those consequences 99.9% of the time are just people talking crap on YouTube or in the chat. Let's call it what it is. Okay. He knows that's as far. He knows that's as far as it's going to go. And guess what? In my opinion, people are talking about him. So it's whatever the case is.
But what's wrong with that? Nothing.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing.
So,
right.
So I think there's more of
Bonjo, get up here, Bonjo, because you're saying I'm not getting
a personal thing where at times people, make it personal, talking about, I see you, it's on site, you're talking about your family, your wife. But you know what, man? Just like the player, just like the reporter, you put your face, you put your thing on there, you're in the line of fire for everything. All three of you are showing your face, as do I, on here. The words that come out of your mouth, they're going to hold you accountable for. A lot of people, usually people that are weak, feeble-minded, and have no real lives or nothing, are out here clipping and trying to cancel people. That's just the weak sauce. So what I get
irritated with is I see these I see people all over whatever social media you're on going after this guy, but they actually cannot name anything in any one of his videos where he was out of line.
So
I haven't
I'm sure
seen
him
one
right
example
now, he's the most
all.
famous he's ever been right now.
Right.
Exactly.
And
like,
that
this guy's his YouTube channel is going to go through the roof. Like he got out of it what he wanted, man. Like
he'll be getting an interview on ESPN or something like that. Like that's where this goes. The local
He
news
actually
will interview him.
In his live stream yesterday, he was invited to 7 different shows yesterday from FS1, ESPN, and not the NFL, but those two. And TMZ was one of them too.
Exactly.
And guess what? He turned them all down.
The world balances itself out, does it not?
He said, I'm turning them out. He said, I'm turning them down because I want to prove to y'all I don't need the money. I'm not going after a lawsuit that you all think I was joking about. He goes, I'm not looking at this for that benefit.
So the lawsuit thing, he's an idiot for saying that, joking or not. That was a faux pas to say the least. That was a dumb
I would
thing.
say it.
Especially because he literally, you could see that video was edited. So he even had a second to be able to look it again. No, I don't know. Talking about suing the team that allows you to have a press pass, that was stupid on him. He'll probably lose his press pass because of it.
He didn't.
No, he didn't. He already sat down with Lynch, and he already.
They don't want to do that because then there's a lawsuit that can happen between the player. Believe me, they're going to take away that press pass when the dust settles. Not going to let a guy.
Here's what I think. I don't know if he gets it renewed next year. How about
that? There you go. Probably a renewal. But I agree that we need somebody like that too. Like
Von Joe, can you come up here, Von Joe? Let me know.
I'm not into everyone parroting the same narrative. Hey, the quarterback looked great throwing the ball all day today, and everyone says it, and then there's one person that's but I seen that series he did bad.
Says you can't control how people react to speaking on their name. Cone isn't wrong, but he's got to know that sometimes there may be consequences.
That's it.
But the argument here is not that Cone knows that. I know that.
Right.
We're not denying that.
Then what is the argument?
The argument here is two things. Number one, I think people are trying to cancel out Cone.
Yes.
Right. Which I think is stupid. Like
I hate
why?
that.
Yeah.
Yep. I hate
that. And number two is people are like, well, Cone was wrong for saying what he said. No, listen to the entire thing and understand where Cone was coming from. He was trying to explain the situation in its entirety from all sorts of different things.
Right. And there's people who say he said something on the sideline or on the practice. If that was true, when the guy was on the live stream, when Javon was on there yelling at him, he didn't mention anything about a conversation. He said you didn't say nothing because you were scared. You know what I mean? Like he was calling him out for it. He said he was saying it was on his YouTube show. So when people say he instigated him to walk over there by saying something to him, that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But
even if it did, I don't need proof for everything. And then again, I don't.
Well, you don't.
Buy, I don't buy into all speculation either. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, I only take what I know for certain and make, assessments on that.
You
now,
can take
could
that
I go
to the
back?
bank. I'll say that.
Yeah. I can go. Could I go back and watch all the video and everything like that? Sure, I could probably have a better assessment of everything. But but reality, I don't even need to go deeper than that because here it is, a reporter and a player fighting back and forth. That's all it really is. And there ain't nothing different. That's been going on a long time.
It's going to be a nothing burger next week.
Right. Man. That's not the that's
right.
not mine and Steven's problem. Our problem is a YouTuber being canceled for just doing what he does. Like, just don't watch it. Unsubscribe.
And I also think that my other issue with it is like the dude was just like he is like as a first round pick. We talk about crap about Tua all the time as a top 5 pick. So, but am I wrong? But are people wrong for saying that? I mean, I know people get upset, right?
Did we talk crap about Deion Jordan?
Like it happens all the time, bro. Like what? I don't see what Grant Cone did anything different.
Maybe because of the press pass, maybe because of all the stuff.
Omar Kelly has talked more trash about Tua than any person that has a press credential that I've ever seen. Right or wrong,
I remember early on before we drafted Tua, no one talked more love about Tua than Omar Kelly. So
yeah, and maybe it's the fact that Omar Kelly has been doing it for so long and has earned credibility with the team, right? So maybe this guy just is not respected by the players, and that is what it is. It's the world he lives in, and Kinlaw brought it up right to his face. Whether he did that right or wrong, he has the right to do that as well.
I would agree he has no respect because Kinlaw sat there with a mouthful of food talking at him the whole time, which I thought the biggest disrespect of the whole interview was that. Him having food in his mouth. That irritates the hell out of me if I was the other guy. Like, yo, bro, you're not going to finish your food?
And now, Captain, I didn't mind what Javion did at all. I just don't think he should have confronted him on 49ers grounds, and he shouldn't have been wearing a 49er shirt during an interview.
Well, he shouldn't have touched him, right? He shouldn't have touched him, bottom line.
And flicked his hat off.
He did flick his
hat
off.
Dude, he put his chest on his shoulders and said, what are you going to do now?
And then even admitted to it on the stream. He's like, I came up to you and put my chest on you.
He went into the press area, snuck up behind him and did that.
I mean, look, I don't know what that guy could have said to get someone to put himself in my box, in my personal space. And not saying I'm,
I'd be scared
badass or nothing. I would be. How do you not at least push the guy away in some kind of defense or something like the fact that it went and he didn't go any further is insane.
Yeah. He said to him, he looked up and he said, "What's up?" And then he's like, "Javon, why are you looking at me like that?" And then Javon responded with what he said, I guess.
That's not good. Javon should really. He's probably going to get a little bit of reprimand from the company.
Now, if he would have just went on the YouTube channel with like a not representing the 49ers and just.
There's a fine line that could have been crossed.
I wouldn't
have cared. There's a real fine line that could have been really crossed right there. If there was any more physical contact and it was any or other thing, we're talking about a completely different subject. Now it's a player assaulting somebody,
over words.
Yeah,
over
words. But isn't there some what's the word? Accountability on the player. Like, hey, what's going to happen is you're going to cut. Cameron was talking about
Finside Fishing. Finside Fishing has a great comment.
Flipside Fishing says that's where I feel Kinlaw is soft. He needs to have thicker skin. That's the point I was trying to go. Okay. You understand that when you make the NFL, that especially as a first round pick, you're going to have these eyes on you. I think Tua actually understands the criticism. Okay. He might not think it's fair, but
he was
like,
the 13th overall pick.
I get it. I understand it. Right? I need to do a better job.
Yeah.
And Kinlaw is like, well, what? It makes it seem. I'm not saying that it is for Kinlaw. It just makes it seem like Kinlaw's like, why are people hating on me, dude? You're the 13th overall pick, and you play two down. You play on average 2 snaps per possession. You're not. You came in. They drafted you at this pick because it's X, Y, and Z. Right? We thought he was going to be a good pass rusher. But he hasn't been healthy.
Especially with him having no first rounders too. He's
exactly. So it's like, of course you're going to get this criticism, man. Good, bad, or indifferent, right or otherwise. It's you, the 13th overall pick. You're going to get criticism, and I guarantee you on everything that Grant Cohn's not the only person to critique this guy in a negative way.
So Grant Cohn, I would say maybe he handled it wrong afterwards. If he didn't go to I don't know. Maybe he should have gone to the 49ers. Maybe there's some other way, but apparently with all these players coming up and putting them behind, I don't know. I'd have to.
Kinlaw said he wished he would have went to John Lynch after the field incident and asked for a sit down then.
That's right. He should have probably handled it and got out in front of it a little bit better because both of them seem to be in the mud on this situation.
Yeah, from perspective, he regrets all of it. He regrets everything. Actually, he said.
And then it would have to come down to the player. As long as they've had words and they've come to some kind of agreement, then yeah.
But if he would have went to John Lynch right away after the field incident and said, "Hey, I want to sit down with this guy," we would not even be we wouldn't even have heard about it. That would have been it.
Yep. It would have been an interview that came and went. Nobody knew if that's how it went. Very, very weird circumstance because you can't, there's a movement happening in the NFL. It's becoming more of a players' league. Everybody knows it. Right. And there's an emboldenment too. And there's also a bit of a struggle where players are trying to be identified more for what they really are. an individual business subcontracted from a team, but are still people. You know, we hold them in this Superman status.
Ray Love said, so reporters don't have accountability. I never said that. I never said that. Hey, you can have this view, but don't get upset. Okay, don't get upset when somebody comes to confront you about your view.
Right.
Never said that.
Their accountability is you not clicking and watching and reading.
Yeah.
That's their accountability.
It goes like, I'm going to use real world, or maybe not real world, but I'm going to use another analogy. I love stand-up. Absolutely love stand-up. Love Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is probably my favorite stand-up comedian of all time, personally. Okay.
Jamie Foxx, the greatest bouncer of all time.
That was good, Roach. But I love Dave Chappelle. Love him. Okay. And Dave Chappelle says a lot of wild and stuff on his stand-up, but I think he says things to show that there's comedic, like he takes personal life experiences or his views on something and puts a comedic twist on it. There are some people that take it, oh, he is somebody who's against the LGBTQ community, or he's somebody that's against X, Y, and Z community. That's not. And if you listen to his entire stand-up, you would know that it's not. But again, if you take a clip off of somebody and just put that clip into something, you can make it and twist it to look however you want it to look. Right? Yeah. So same idea in this scenario. You could take that clip that he had about, he was saying, oh, I could have got paid. That's not what he was saying. Listen to the whole thing. You're using that same thing. You're using that same thing to that same logic to this particular situation. And so the point of what I want to say is there are some people that are for you where you can watch and feel free to tune in. And there's some people that are not, where you can feel free to turn it off and never watch them again.
Right.
Yeah, I guess, it all comes down to sticks and stones at the root of it. You can't get too butthurt over words. And then if you are, if someone comes back with their words of their own, or
I don't think Grant Cohn, by the way, was butthurt.
I want to know how Ray.
I'm talking about
Ray
the player.
thinks.
Yeah, that's true.
Reporters
have a responsibility to be fair and accurate.
So what did he say that wasn't fair and accurate?
Exactly. What did he say wrong that wasn't fair and accurate?
And it depends on who they're writing for and all that. Depends on if they have to be fair and accurate.
What we can't have is, it's kind of like the Will Smith thing. You come up and hit the person,
right.
Chris Rock and everything.
That's a precedent. Will Smith couldn't do.
It sounds like what Ray wants is this perfect world where everything is like sunshine and rainbows and written the way he wants it and the way he wants to understand it.
I don't want to single Ray out. I just think that we're catching his
that's what I'm responding to.
Yeah, we're just catching his chat, his responses in the chat. Now, what I will say to you, Ray, is who are you to say that somebody's views respond? Who are you to say? And I don't mean you per se. I just mean who is anyone to say
royally that, you?
Yeah, that they have the responsibility to be fair and accurate.
Right.
Who's to say that Omar Kelly isn't fair and accurate?
And have you done the research, Ray?
Omar's been there for years. Omar's been covering the team for years. So, like you don't have to like what Omar says, but is he fair and accurate? Some people might say he is.
Yep.
Right or wrong?
I mean, look, I even fair or inaccurate perspective is what I'm after. I can't. The eye of the beholder, and there's even when people are purposely trolling those, Stephen, like purposely trolling, you got to know the game. You get caught up in the game, that's your own problem.
Has Cohen ever said anything positive about Kinlaw? He criticized Kinlaw at the same time, acknowledges his injury history. Okay, let's talk about it. What is one of the things we talk about too all the time, guys?
Injury prone.
Injury prone. Can he stay healthy?
He has bones soft as birds.
Okay.
That's the example. That's the example of Cohen.
That could be considered a troll. If Grant Cohn was talking in that way, okay, you keep on.
But what's wrong with him saying that? As a reporter, nothing.
Personally, if I'm being honest, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Now, what I will say to you is this: you are stating a fact. He is not. He hasn't been healthy for a full season yet. The hip injury, still, we question it. It is questionable at best.
Mm-hmm. Ray's been in the media for 20 years.
Why is that wrong? Why is that wrong?
Steven.
Ray, get up here. I'd love to talk to you.
Yeah.
Do you want to get up in here? Like, here's the link, bro. Get up here, Ray. I'd love to talk to you about it.
Hey, Steve, I got to jump. I got to focus on this call for work.
All right. I love you, brother. Be good, man.
Hey, see you, Cameron.
Hey, Roots, you guys, Capitan, have a good day and appreciate the conversation.
Later,
man.
Cameron. Later,
All
brother.
right.
You know, we see the same thing in our own fan base. You're not allowed to have objectivity. You're not allowed to criticize, you know, especially with the quarterback. And there's people that are actively looking to cancel. I kind of referred to it a little bit. Time heals all wounds in a lot of instances. When it gets physical, that could be different and threatening that too.
Trey says, Steven, let someone slander you every day about your career and see how you would feel after a week. All right, Trey, to your example, and Roach brought this up yesterday, and I brought this up too. I do have people on here in the chat every day that say, Steven, you're not fair. Steven, you're not right. Steven, you're very hypocritical. Steven, how could you say? I every day have at least a little bit. I'm not saying I have a lot. I'm not a controversial person personally. Okay,
get on my show.
I'm not a controversial person.
Crazy. Yeah,
that's not my nature. But I still have people that say that. Does it bother me? A little bit, yeah, because I think I do the best I can with what I have available to me. But I could choose to hear that, or I could choose to hear what I hear from a lot of you all the time. Steven, you do a great job. Steven, you're so kind. Steven, I use you every morning, and I could choose to tune people in and tune people out. That's just the way I go about certain things. Now, to your defense, Trey, or to your point, I will say, by the way, Ray Love, are you coming on? Because I would love for you to come on, Ray. And you can be anonymous. You can be anonymous, Ray, if you want. I would love for you to come on. I want to know if Ray. All right, there's Ray. I'm gonna have Ray come on here in a second. Yeah, matter of fact, let me bring on Ray now. Ray, what's up, Ray?
Hey, what's happening, family? How y'all doing
today? What's up, buddy?
Pretty good, Ray. Now you don't have to say who you work for, but what type of media do you do?
Yeah, I'm a radio DJ.
Okay.
A radio now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a radio DJ. Yeah.
Now, is it music or news or sports? Okay, music.
Music.
Okay.
Yeah, I do it all.
But
20 years, that's a long time.
Now you work in an industry where you've seen good and bad when it comes to musical talent and how, you might say something or whatever, but I'm sure you have sister stations that might talk news or sports, right?
Exactly.
Worked at places. So you've seen the ins and outs of that, how people can be critical or how people can talk about a particular subject and support one side of something and how the other side views them, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now with that being said, I want you to talk about why do you think Grant Cohn is wrong here? Because you were very adamant that from my perception, it looked like you were saying that Cohn was 100% in the wrong here.
All right. So one of the things I was looking at is how he handled the situation, right?
Okay. Yep.
In terms of not de-escalating the situation when he had the interview with Kinlaw, that would have been one of the first things I would have tried to do. Seeing that he was really bothered by a lot of the reporting, if you want to call it that, of Cohen, because my thing is this. Cohen acknowledges the fact that Kinlaw has injury history, but then he comes at the man sideways for years about different things, about his play. If you know the guy has an injury history, then why are you coming at him sideways?
Can you explain
it? I'm not finished.
No, I just want you to explain what's your definition of sideways. That's what I want from you.
Sideways. I mean, he said what he said himself. I criticized you 100 different ways in the past couple of years. Which one of those ways and which one of the things that I said offended you? Okay. All right. He never mentioned the fact that he said, hey, listen, I think I've been fair and balanced with you, man. I criticized you and I gave you props. When you did well, I gave you props for that. When you played bad, I criticized you for that. I mean, that's what I'm supposed to do as a reporter.
What if he didn't do
anything?
Never
said anything about
What if he didn't do anything well, love? What if he didn't do anything well? That's an honest question. An honest question. All right,
I mean, that's a hypothetical question, but you can't tell me that this guy, in all the years that he's been playing football, that he has done nothing positive on the field.
Okay, Lev. So let's play this hypothetical.
There's a stats if you want.
I'll bring it up in a minute. Let's play this hypothetical, Lev, because I want to.
Has he ever had a sack? Has he ever had a sack? Pull up his stats.
So he had 1.5 his first year. In the second year, he only played 4 games, did not have a sack.
Yeah. So a first round, 13th overall pick for 2 years, you got 1.5 sacks.
Yes.
And 41 tackles.
But I'm supposed to praise you on 1.5 sacks as the 13th overall pick.
Well, once again, you're dealing with you're dealing with a young man that's been struggling with injuries.
Okay.
Right? And if he's been struggling with injuries, of course that's going to affect his play to some degree, or to a large degree. So my attitude about that is that you have to have some type of, as a reporter or somebody that's in the sports, you're supposed to have some type of empathy and some type of compassion about whoever you're writing about.
Right. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of reporters. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm sure there's plenty of reporters that are compassionate to his fact. If he's the one guy being critical and that gets at the player, I mean, there's got to be somebody for that. You can't have everything
48,000
way, because if everyone's all talking about it one way, then we're never going to really get the truth. We're just going to get the narrative.
No, I don't disagree with that. What I'm saying is that as a reporter, I say it is your job, it is your responsibility to be fair, to be accurate, and to be balanced. And what I mean by fair is that if he does something well, give him credit for it. If he does something bad, then you do what you got to do. If you got to give him them hands with the pen, then go ahead and do what you got to do. You know what I mean? But
he has videos where he's
coming at the man. If you're coming at the man 100% negative, and then he got his family looking at it, and he looking at it, and this here and that there. I mean, you have no idea about the kind of strife. And
did you go back and watch?
Hold on, Roach. Hold on. Saying about what you do. So you got to understand. You got to understand the platform that you are on and who you are and what power you have. You're not just some individual just talking trash on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That's not how you're presenting yourselves. You're presenting yourself as being somebody that's in the media and with valuable insight and opinions about sports. Okay, so if that is the case, then you need it. I said, if that's the case, that's why I like DDW. DDW, he's very classy. You know what I'm saying? He does no trolling. If he has to criticize you, he'll criticize you. If he has something positive to say, he'll say something positive. That's all I'm saying. Okay, and that's one of the reasons why I like Steven, because Steven, you fair and balanced. You fair and balanced. I've heard you. I've been watching you for a minute.
I appreciate it.
I've been watching you for a minute. So if you got to give them hands, you'll give them hands. If you got to give them some flowers, you'll give them some flowers. You do it. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. But I haven't watched Cohen, but in all those hours, in all those hours that you watched Cohen, Roach, did he say anything positive about Kinlaw?
He did. He would say it, and then he would back it up with, "We'll see how long it lasts." You know what I mean? Like, he'd back it up with sarcasm because he comes at it with his whole stick. Mm-hmm. I can't say it. Shtick. I can't.
I know what you're trying to say.
Go ahead, brother.
That he's more of that like sarcastic, negative Nancy reporter of the team. Yeah. Like, he's looking at everything like the worst possible way. And that's where
there's a place for that kind of reporting too. You know what I'm saying?
So when I was watching him, I went into it thinking that in advance, so that way I could see it from his point of view. But if you go into it as like wanting pure like positivity and all that, you will go in there and you will hate that guy.
Okay. All right. Now look,
you know what I mean?
I don't need pure positivity, bro.
Can I rebuttal on your statement? All right.
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
All right, so there's a few things I want to address in your statement.
That's a backhanded compliment, Trace.
So,
that's
so,
what I meant,
so thing number one is that bothers me about what you're saying is if there, I get that you've played in the NFL for 2 years and 90%, and not, I'm exaggerating, but a majority of it has been injury prone, right?
Yeah,
and that's all that he was saying.
It's not his fault.
Good, bad, or indifferent is your best ability is availability. He hasn't been available. Okay,
agreed.
Doesn't matter if it was his fault or not.
Hey, Finsanity.
Now, the other thing that is also interesting too is, and again, I didn't go back and look at it, but I would be figuring to guess that this man doesn't get, thousands and thousands of views on his videos just strictly talking about Javon Kinlaw for 2 years. I'm sure he talks about a multitude of other things when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers. It's not all just based on San Francisco or Javon Kinlaw. Now, the other thing that you also said too is you're like, I just want him to be fair and accurate. Now, neither one of us watch Grant Cohn because he's a San Francisco guy, right? But what I will be willing to guess, his worst case scenario is probably he's very critical, like my boy TD is, right? And I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think it's that
different audience.
TD's going to call out something when he sees it, right? So if let's say Grant Cohn at best is TD Finn's talk in the San Francisco 49ers world, right?
Mm-hmm. I like TD.
All right, and I love TD. All right, now if that's being said, TD when things go right, I think that he calls it out, but 90% of the people that watch TD will say that he's always negative. Or that the people that criticize him will say that he's always negative.
TD's more likable as like on screen. I hate to say it, the guy we've been talking about comes off as a weasel during his stuff, but I still want to. Yes, but I still want
of one incident.
No. I'm talking about from watching all of his videos. He does come off as a little bit of a weasel, but that's okay because that's his show. I'm just defending his right to have his show the way he wants. That's all I'm defending.
I'll make a correlation.
I mean, but if that's the case, Roach, would you really consider him a reporter or maybe like a sports entertainer? He's got a
press pass. He's getting reporting.
Commentator.
I guess it depends. I don't know how. I've never been in the industry, so I don't know if since he writes for sports articles and posts them on Sports Illustrated's website, do they have creative control over what he does on YouTube, or is that like a separate thing?
No, he does his own.
So if it's separate,
he's allowed to say what he wants to say.
Right,
he does what he wants to do.
Some media companies,
I don't know, concrete. Slick, I'll look at it.
I'm sure some media company has contracts that you can't go on a show and bring negative light on the Sports Illustrated. I'm sure there's that. Am I right, Love, or no? Is that a thing?
No, I'm looking at you. Yeah, I agree.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious if that's the case, then Sports Illustrated must be good with it. But he regrets the interview with Javon 100%, and he wishes he would.
Yeah, because he let that go off the rails, and he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
He let that go off the rails.
I don't think he thought it was going to go that way, and when it did, it was too late to pull out. Like you had to let it play its course. And my personal opinion, watching that entire live stream, from him being up there to it ending, he got him off before it was going to go any further. Personally, and I think he pulled the plug personally before.
Here's what's funny.
Further.
I mean, when he said the first N-word, he should have took him off.
Yeah, he scheduled that live stream.
You can say that. There's the argument there.
As soon as the interview ended, 2 hours later, I put a like to follow, you know what I mean? Like to get notifications, the bell thing. And I got the notification 2 hours after I saw the tweet on that same night that he was scheduling the live stream with his dad. So that means his dad had already talked to him and been like, hey bro, we need to talk about what just happened.
Need to get
probably
out
set
in
him
front
straight.
This.
Yeah. And then they set the live stream. And that was before all this blew up the next morning.
So I'm trying to put this in a
he already met with the 49ers. He already talked to his dad. Then he scheduled.
Yeah, and by the way, let me just say one more thing before you go, El Capitan. Love to finish up my point to you. And by the way, guys, all I was trying to do was trying to make a comparison to our world to theirs. I wasn't saying I should. Let me rephrase my statement and say I don't mean to say that Grant Cohn is TD. I'm just saying TD, from what I know of, is the closest we got. the closest we got
Well,
in
still
our
far
Dolphins
away.
community, but still far away. Exactly, right? To finish my point, though, what I will say to you is I don't think that Grant Cohn, and I haven't watched all his videos, but I don't see where he did anything wrong. I think he's been critical of the guy that has not played well, has not played at all in certain situations. And I don't, if he said 100 bad things about him, then so be it, because there hasn't been a lot to talk about in a positive manner from his career so far. Granted, it's only been 2 years. And I would go as to say that when you are in the spotlight, you need, like, they have rookie symposiums. They talk to these players, Love, and they say, "Hey, look, you're gonna get in the spotlight. You got to tell your family that they can't respond to every negative remark. They tell you to talk to your family about that stuff." So we can sit here and play this game that, oh man, his family's watching. He's got family. Bro, you get paid millions of dollars to play a game. We're critiquing you on said play. You don't have to like what's said. You know what you can do? Turn off the channel and play better, or just turn off the channel and keep doing what you're doing. Whatever. I think Kinlaw does not have to listen to it if he chooses not to. He chose to listen. He chose to dive into it and fall into it.
I agree.
My opinion.
No, Steve, you're right. You're right about
that. Was kind of my point.
I don't disagree
too,
with that, Steve. I don't disagree with that at all.
Like Mike Florio and Chris Sims, even, and the Herd. People hate them for all different
Vonjo,
reasons.
get up here, Vonjo.
And people love them for all different reasons. I think we could chalk it up that the existence of this guy and his shtick, we'll call it, is different strokes for different folks. You got to have balance in this. It can't all be one-sided, because you know what? It's a weasel like that guy that may find something that's worth being reported on, because he's only
talking about Cone?
Yeah, the weasel.
Why is he a weasel?
I just said he had that personality.
I don't like that. I'm sorry, I don't like that.
I was just touching on what Roach said, because he
but
does.
He
play
has
a
the right
character.
to be a weasel on YouTube.
Steven, on he's playing a character. Okay, it's a caricature, and it is. I bet you he's not really like that in his real life. I'm certainly not wearing a purple jacket in mine. You know what I'm saying?
We know he wasn't, because Javon said he wasn't like that in real life.
My point is that, real world ain't this all the time, and people allow it to affect them in a real world manner. And when you watch Colin Cowherd and you're like, that, I hate that SOB, you just take it to such a personal level. You allow him to get to you. That's why he's smirking, because really the lesson is that calm down, bro. We're talking sports. Chill out. That's the real lesson.
And Love, the only thing I think people in chat are misconstruing, only thing I'm defending is his YouTube platform and his right to say what he wants on YouTube. Yeah, as long as it's not hurting other people or anything illegal against the YouTube rules, that's all I'm protecting.
Von 954 and Von Joe, please come up to the front, please. Come up to the front.
And I don't think what Javon did was wrong. Guys. I think he had a right to do it.
Even if he's everything they're saying he is, in every
we
bad
live in
light.
a social media era, Stephen D. You can choose not to listen, but somehow it still finds a way to you. That's fine, Trey, but that's also freedom of speech, bro.
Right, and then you still have to click on it. You still have to click on it.
There's plenty of people that I choose, like Steven's saying, I choose not to watch because I just don't agree, or it's just not to my liking. I can look at it for the bit that it is and respect the game. That's what I'm talking about.
And a lot of times I actually follow them just so I can see what they're posting. And then, because like Steve said, sometimes they find a little gem. And
what's up, Von 9554?
I'm dropping out, Steven. I gotta get some stuff done. I'll see you later, buddy.
All right, El Capitan. Love you, brother. Be good.
Love you, brother.
Von 954. Take yourself off mute. Go ahead, Von 954. Take yourself off mute. Shout out to Cruz Ruiz with the $5 donation.
So, Love, are we able to?
He says it's hilarious to hear people slam Cone for criticizing Kinlaw, but do the same to players too here every day. You're right, Cruz. You're 100% right. Von 954, what's up, bro?
What up, y'all? What's going on, everybody? Roach, what's up?
What's up, man?
What's going on, everybody?
Von 954, just so you know, you're my man, $100,000, but I want to hear what you got to say. Go ahead.
All right, that's all I had to say about it. Because I see both sides of it. Like I always try to look at both sides and see who's wrong, who's right, or indifferent. But Kinlaw, I think his reaction was we can't control how people react. Is all I'm saying. I'm not gonna say he was right. I wouldn't have did it the way he did it at all.
He was in his emotions.
I can't say right. He was, and judging by how he went off, that it seems like that's something he might have to work on. Hence why Cohen probably speaks on his immaturity and all these things. But I don't know much about the dude, but it seems like he's been doing it for years. I mean, at some point, enough is enough. I mean, and we see this happen in media, not just this. I don't know if you guys watch Breakfast Club. We've seen it happen time and time again with Charlemagne the God. Like some people.
But Charlemagne the God is a controversial person, right? Like I have to admit, I love the Breakfast Club, but you also watch it to see if there's going to be that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Are we going to get another Birdman reaction? Are we going to get another put some respect on my name? You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It was just so the guy seems like he was just, from what I gather, it seems like it's a constant thing with him. Because I'm like you said, I'm sure he's not the only one that said something. So why is he set off about this one? You got to think his family is probably coming to him like, hey, this dude keeps doing this. I'm sure that I think it was more so family and friends putting it in his head like, yo, this guy won't stop with your name. Like, what's his problem? That's what I get from it. I'm not sure 100%, but that's just the vibe that it seems to give. His family is coming to him and friends, and they're like, "Bro,
is Grant Cohn wrong, Von Nyfart? Is he wrong?
I can't say he's wrong.
Okay,
I can't say for sure he's wrong.
That's all I wanted to hear. And to your point, I will also say that Javon Kinlaw has every right to confront Cohn, but the way he went about confronting him, can't do that, bro. Can't do it.
The where and when.
You can't confront it. You can't confront him the way you did by walking over and bumping your chest and swinging his hat off. Can't do that. And you can't get on his platform and be like, bro, I know what your face looks like. My family knows what your face looked like. Stop playing with me, yo. Can't do that. Like that's a straight threat. And if y'all disagree with me, that's fine. But that's a threat.
And we now know due to Pat McAfee that they get training. They get training on that. The players do on how to deal with these situations. So
Trey says, bro, Steven, you can't tell someone how to react, bro. That's what you're missing. That's not what I'm missing, though, bro. That's not what I'm missing.
When you're representing your team, they can tell you how to react because you're representing them.
You get paid millions of dollars for a game.
Now, if he would, that's my whole point. If he wasn't wearing the 49er shirt, he could say whatever he wants. But he was representing the team. That's my only problem.
And that goes to what Cohen is saying about his immaturity, I guess.
Love, you got away. You back, bud?
Or
yes, sir, I'm back.
You would hope that he would have called one of his mentors on the team and been like, hey, bro, I'm about to light this dude up on YouTube. And maybe they would, I would hope his mentor or the captain would be like, hey, bro, don't do that. Don't do it. Call the media team.
Concrete Slick. What's up, Concrete Slick? I see you've been.
Hey, Roach, that's a great point.
Concrete Slick, take yourself off mute. That's one. Number two, I appreciate you coming on here, bro. I've been watching your tweets on here, and you've been supporting the channel. I appreciate it. Concrete, you there? Take yourself off mute.
Hey, Love, where can we listen to you DJ, man?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, man, that's a good question, man. You can catch me on Saturday mornings because I'm part-time now, so I do it on the weekends on AM 1490 WNBM.
Where's that at?
That's in South Florida. It's a 24-hour gospel radio station.
All right, go ahead. I like it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been doing that for a minute, and I've been at other radio stations too.
Concrete, what's up, Concrete?
Man, just listening. First, I want to say I agree with Roach. But I also agree with you, Steve. Like a lot of people are not media ready to, deal with these type of situations when they're not playing good or they're not healthy. So a lot of it's taken personally. And then by him actually being what is he, a beat writer or works for whoever?
He's really a YouTuber. That's what he does. Right. He's a YouTuber
who writes op-eds for
correct
first. Yeah. Sports.
And this is what I was saying, like. A lot, if you don't notice, YouTube is coming a part of the football culture because they're listening to us. They hear us, and then they don't like what we got to say. And that's a part of the business. You can't be mad if, you know what I'm saying, you're not playing up to expectation. What, first round 13 pick? The only way to change a narrative is to what? Get healthy and play better.
Yep.
That's the only way to change anything. You
I
want
bet
the comments to stop?
Concrete, I bet you Javon doesn't just hear it in the media. He probably hears it in the locker room from every position coaches.
Well, that's hearsay. We don't know that, but you could be right.
From what Pat McAfee said, they're more brutal in the locker room than anywhere. So if you're hearing it in the media, you're more likely going to hear from you if you're not performing.
All right, Q, take yourself off mute. Q, go ahead, bro. How are you, man?
What's going on, Steven? I'm good, bro. I'm good. What up,
Q?
Bro?
You're my man, $100,000. Just so you know, you're my man, $100,000. But
yes, sir.
I think we disagree on this. Go ahead.
No. I actually agree with you. I
thought you were in there disagreeing with me. Okay.
No, I was agreeing with you.
Okay,
I get confused in chat too sometimes.
I know. I was like, are you the one that's disagreeing with me? Okay.
No, just like the way Kinlaw went about it. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying he shouldn't do it. I'm saying that's not how you do it, right? Because it's either going to make a case for you or it's going to crucify you, right?
Yep.
But you can try to make a case for yourself, right? You can try to, if you're your ways, your ins and outs about going about that, but man, he was just in his feelings, bro. I think Cone didn't say anything wrong. Cone just told him, he's the link. Yep. You want to pop, come in, talk some sports, some football. Let's do it. And he gave it the time and day. He gave it the attention. Once you give it the attention, you're playing.
You're rap. And to his thing, I think when Cone brought him on, he's like, bro, let's talk about this. What do you have a problem with me saying? And I think that I'm getting feedback from somebody. I think that his objection or his what he was trying to do. Let me put it that way. What he was trying to do was trying to say, hey, if you had a problem with this, let me tell you why I said this. And he would have broke it down step by step. I'm not saying that would have happened. I'm just saying that's what I think where he was going. Yeah. And I know somebody who disagrees with me with this, and that's Von Joe. Von Joe, thank you for finally joining us.
Sir,
Omar says hearsay.
No, Von Joe. Von Joe, we are priority number one here, sir. You should know that.
No, not the
Forget
Queens.
your job. Forget your family. Forget your kids.
Not over the Queens. Not over the Queens. No, but the thing is, first off, before I get on my platform, I hope everybody really is having a wonderful day on this Spread Kindness Friday. Make sure that you do spend time with the family, relax, enjoy, taking some sun, some vitamin D, right? Me, myself, the reason why I'm running late, I just picked up my sister from the airport, right? Cooked breakfast for the family, and we're about to go mini golfing to start off our weekend.
Yep.
Is she a Dolphin fan?
No, she's from Baltimore.
Oh.
She lives in Baltimore. That's the one that I just picked up is the one that lives in Baltimore that I'm going to drop my son off to and pull up on Stephen D.
Yep. He's coming to hang out. We're going to hang out, Von Joe and I.
So I thought about it, Stephen, and me and Roach talked about this a little more on his show, the I Believe podcast. As you can see, I was kind of jealous earlier. I saw Roach with his I Believe podcast, and I saw Cameron of the Tub Readers.
Your name now is Von Joe of the Keeping It 100 Network.
Yes. So
brought to you by Keeping It Real.
So
go ahead.
Exactly. So I had to change my name so I could fit in with you guys.
I like it.
Somebody giving an echo. When keeping it real go wrong.
Yeah, when keeping it real goes wrong.
That's an awesome skip, by the way. But here's the thing. I came to the exactly. That was actually Kinlaw's keeping it real going wrong. But this is the situation I see it as. It's not wrong what Cone did, right? I want to put that out there, right? By standards, why it's not wrong, but I would say that it's classless, and how should I say? It's tactless. It doesn't have you could do something and do something with class, guys. Yes. I'm pretty sure we all could agree on that.
Yes.
That I think it just lacked class and decor. I mean, he knew what he was doing, because if he approached you that way on the field, you knew the type of energy you're about to get when you brought him on, right? So it's not, hey, let me try to explain myself. You already knew he was about to blow up with you, and this is a moment for you to get some views, get some, how should I say, something sensational, to sensationalize a moment, right? So that's what he did. He capitalized on it, and Kinlaw gave him ammo, and he just kept loading it up, because he could have easily cut the stream off when he noticed hold on, wait, Steven. When he noticed that Cone and Cone noticed the energy that Kinlaw came with, that he was not going to let him explain. So at that point, when you notice that somebody's not going to let you explain and get your point across, and this is not going to go as you perceive it, if you want it.
No, I'm interrupting you, bro. Why wasn't he going to let us get his point off? Because he kept asking him, hey, bro, tell me what I said. Kinlaw never said anything, bro.
Exactly. So you already know the energy that he's coming with. You already know that he's coming with that negative energy, because
because here's what would have happened, Vonjo. If he had to cut him off too early, Kinlaw could have played the card. I never got a chance to say anything. I never got a chance to put in what I was going to say.
What you talking about?
He gave Kinlaw.
Steven, how many times did he ask him?
Multiple times.
Exactly.
20, 30 times.
Exactly. So at what point do you make the conscious decision to say, okay, I'm not going to get my point across?
I think he gave him a fair, ample amount of time.
I'll tell you this.
Are we going to have a conversation?
If he was on ESPN or FS1, they would not have stopped filming.
Okay,
they would have bleeped it out, and they would have kept on filming it.
They would have kept on doing it. They never would have pulled the plug.
Why?
Because they're a show. They're entertainment.
Exactly.
Why should Cone?
So it's all for entertainment. It's all for clicks. It's all for likes. It's clickbait. Come on, man.
Why should Cone stop instigating, a reaction out of Kinlaw when Kinlaw was the one? Because you have to drop a link for somebody to come on, right? So Kinlaw must be the one that came on.
He walked through the door.
Yeah,
he dropped the link and he walked through the door. But at the same time,
he should have walked out.
But hold on. No, but hold on. At the same time,
no problem on that.
If I call myself and I say that I have a standard, right? Like, for example, Steven has a standard for his show. Am I correct?
Do I though? No.
If we come,
I do. You're on here. Do I though? No.
Listen. I do question it at times. Now. But if I go on and I start cussing and cutting him off every 2 seconds, I'm pretty sure Steven could just drop me out of the show, right?
But to that scenario, Vonjo, let me just say, there are people that come on my platform that can disrespect my platform that I try to give the opportunity. Hey, bro, be respectful of the platform, right? And I give people enough to give them. I don't just cut you off after the first time. I give you a couple of chances.
I know, but at the same time, come on, we could agree that he gave him more than enough rope. He could have cut it off. He could have cut it off a long time ago.
All right, so here's what I want to do. I'm going to bring on somebody who is considered in this fan base. He can be considered an instigator in this fan base. Okay. Love him, but he could be considered an instigator. He had beef this morning with somebody in the chat, which we're not going to address when I bring him up here. We're going to address behind closed doors.
Before you do this,
yes,
this is like when the mystery character pops up in Super Smash Bros. You don't know who's coming. It's
no,
just
I think
a shadow.
People know who I'm talking about. People know who I'm talking about. But
you talking about against the Pokemon? Who said that?
All right, here we go.
Remember when they used to cut the commercial?
What's up, EM Dolphin fan? How are you?
It's EM.
I am very good. Instigator, Stephen D. Really?
I said some people might look at you like that, and we're not going to talk about the beef you had this morning, but I am going to talk to you about it behind closed doors.
EM, worst intro I ever heard from somebody ever.
It was the worst intro ever?
Instigator. Man, look, bro. I don't listen.
Well, let me get your what is your thought on this situation? This is what I want to talk about. What is your thought about this?
Okay.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't have a problem with whoever that YouTube guy was, Cohen.
Greg
Cohen. I mean, I don't have a problem with his approach, to him evaluating that team or players or whatnot, because, hey, but Kinlaw and, let me say this. I don't have a problem with him addressing, Cohen, but I just wish he was more detailed. First off, I wish he would have dialed things down just a little bit. I think, he said a lot of inappropriate.
Who Cohen?
No, Kinlaw. Kinlaw.
Okay,
when he addressed him, I felt like he said some inappropriate things.
100%.
And
He should
and
use
I'm
less emotion.
and I'm guilty of that as well. We all know, but
No way, not you.
As far as I know, Greg Cohen, he never made things personal with Kinlaw. You know what I mean? So I felt like Kinlaw should have never made anything personal with him. So I agree.
Hold on, EM. At what point do you consider something personal or not?
Because and before you answer that, EM, it goes to Love's point earlier. Love's like, if you keep talking about somebody and you keep on constantly and not giving them flowers when they do something well, I brought up to the fact, I said, well, he hasn't really done anything well. So how can you say something positive for somebody who hasn't really done anything positive?
Steven, how do you know that?
I agree.
You don't follow the 49ers.
I agree. Kinlaw needs to step his game up. That's what I'm saying. I don't know the complete history between the two players because obviously there's a history there. You know what I mean, a back and forth. So, but Kinlaw, I think
there really isn't, Roach. Right? This is the first time your research. This is
during his rookie season. There was hope in the videos. Hope for him. It was still critique, but with hope. The second year, there was, oh crap, this might not work, and then it went into, and then it shifted into negativity.
Got it.
Kinlaw. Well, to be honest with you, hey, listen, I don't have no issues with Greg Cohen as long as he didn't make things personal. As long as he kept his evaluation film based, I have no problem with that. And Kinlaw, man, he in his feelings, bro. If you get mad, step your game up. Step your game up, and you don't have to worry about this.
I can't believe I'm about to say this. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but EM and I are on the same page, bro.
EM,
step your game up, bro.
If I'm saying that, you have 80-year-old man knees, that's not getting personal. That's not film evaluation.
He's playing like an 80-year-old man with bad knees. He's playing. That's what his play would suggest. So no, I don't have a problem with that. Step your game up. Period.
No, but at the same point,
I don't have a problem with Kinlaw addressing him. I just think that he took it way too far.
You went about it the wrong way.
Right. He didn't bring.
Let me ask you: do you think EM? Do you think that was a threat that Kinlaw said to him?
Well, what did he say?
He said, "Man, my family knows what you look like, bruh. My family knows what you look like. Stop playing with me. We know what you look like." That's a threat, right?
That's a threat.
That's a threat. Thank you.
I don't see that.
That's all I want to know.
I don't see that as a threat.
No.
How can you not? How can you not see that as a threat?
Y'all are lying to yourselves.
No. Steven.
How can you not see that as a threat?
Watches him. That just means his family watches him.
No. It's a threat. You know what that means? It means it's on site. That's what it means.
No. That don't mean
that. Well, that's a threat.
No.
What is going to happen on site? What, they going to sit down and sing Kumbaya?
Hold on.
Somebody going to get their hands put on them. That's a threat, bro.
Hold on. One at a time. Let Bonjo go. Bonjo, go ahead,
So, hold
Bonjo.
on. Let me explain that part, because the thing is, that's in the case where two things could sound similar, but are not the same. Where I could sit there and say, hey, my family know what you look like. And at the same time, you're saying,
Bonjo.
hey, hold on, let me finish. You said I could finish, right?
You did. I did, but
because now you can hold on. So you can sit there and say, "Hey, my family knows what you look like." So that could mean like when they see you, they know that you're about to talk negative about my kids. Know you're about to talk.
Listen,
hold on, let me finish.
Okay, go ahead. Fair enough. Go ahead.
So
my bad.
Yeah, Bonjo. I agree with Bonjo.
And I can say the same thing with, yo, my people know what you look like, so you got to come see me when you see me.
That's a threat, Bonjo.
No, that's a threat. The second one is a threat. The first one is up to interpretation.
But again, you can perceive that can be perceived as a threat.
perceive as a threat. But if me saying that,
I mean, we might perceive it as a threat, but that doesn't make it a threat.
In this day and time, in this day and time, in this culture that we live in particular in this country, bro, come on, man.
That's a threat all
that
day,
is a
bro.
threat all day, every day.
Anything is a threat.
No different than I know where you live.
I want to ask Bonjo something. I want to ask Bonjo something.
Yo, go ahead. Go ahead. You can try to ask your question.
Bonjo. Go ahead, Concrete.
Bonjo, if me and you doing an interview, right? Say you're Kinlaw, right? And even though you're on my platform, you're going off. I don't care that you're going off. I'm trying to get down to the nitty gritty of what you're mad at, right? And you're hostile, and you tell me in a hostile manner, my family know what you look like. What does that have to do with anything? And you're hostile.
Because
what
again,
does
you guys,
your family know what I look like have to do with anything?
Okay, see now we talk. See now you're taking that out of context because hold on. At the point,
y'all taking that out of context, man. Because
before he even said that, you guys act like he didn't say that. Yo, my kids are watching this. My family's watching this. Right, so they know what you look like. My kids are seeing this.
He told me he was weak.
Exactly,
but again, Bonjo,
my family knows what you look like. My family knows what you want.
Bro, come on, Bonjo.
That doesn't mean that my family is going to come at you because you making comments about me. He's telling him, my family knows who you are.
Nah, man.
Well,
they watch you.
Listen. Well, here's where Kinlaw. Here's where I'm critical of Kinlaw. Again, he should if he didn't have any malicious intentions in terms of like this escalating into physicality, he should have been like when he makes the statement, "My family knows what you look like," or whatever. He should have been more detailed and been more direct on what his point is. He just left that open for interpretation. Anybody,
and that's what I said. He should address it with less emotion.
If you poll, I guarantee you. Listen here, Vonjo. If you walking down the street, bro, you get in an argument with somebody, and some dude tells you, "Hey, my family know what you look like, whatever. My family know what you look like." How are you gonna take that?
California says that same
How are you going to take that? You're going to take that as a threat, bro? Come on, man.
So can I put something in perspective?
Cone tried to talk to the man. He tried to talk to the man, but Kinlaw wasn't having it. Kinlaw wasn't having it.
Jordan.
No, man, you can't be doing that in this day and time, bro. I'm sorry. Listen, I can't speak. Listen, I can't speak for another grown man. But if I'm out in the field working and I pull up at a gas station and God forbid I get into it with somebody and somebody tell me my family know what you look like.
I know what your car looks like. I know what your car looks like.
Come on, bro. I'm taking that as a threat. And it's going to escalate real quick. It's going to escalate to the fullest real quick.
The same terminology, right? The same terminology. Hey, EM, man, you up here talking all this trash about me. I don't like it. Yo, keep my name out your mouth, man. Yo, keep my name out your mouth. My kids got to see this. My family got to see this. They know what you look like, cuz. We know what you look like. Yo, keep my name out my mouth because my kids got to see all this.
That's a threat, Vonjo. That's a threat.
I'm going to take that as a threat, bro.
Actually, that's a request. That's just a very strong request.
Keep my name out your mouth.
That's a threat.
Now, if I come out,
I'm gonna take that as. I'm sorry, bro.
We know what you look like. And you gotta see us because you in the state. Yo, you gotta come see me. I know what you look like. Now that's a threat. When I say you gotta see me,
yeah, exactly.
You gotta come outside.
If he was actually going to threaten this guy, right? If he was actually threatening.
We gotta act like
all right, go ahead,
man. Come on.
All right, hold on. Let me. There are people in the back room that want to get involved in this conversation. Let me bring.
I can't sit around. I gotta get my family.
I'm gonna jump out, Steven.
All right, thank you guys. Love you, man. Spread kindness Friday.
I love you,
Steven. As you bring them in, I want to.
I
want to point something out as you bring them in. Is that for perspective? Deion Jordan is 2 years with the Dolphins, has more tackles, more sacks, and more same amount of games played in the first season. And he played 10 in the second season.
They want me to play the part of the video where he says that.
So we all thought Deion Jordan was a bust, no?
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
So he was better than this guy.
And to be honest with you, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's feeling some type of way because now he's getting in that bust territory.
All right, here we go.
And I'm sure he's hearing it from everybody.
All right. So I got David, Rashad, Slim Shady, and Pete in the back. I'm gonna bring Y'all,
bring
one
on
at a time.
P.
I'll bring them on, but I got these other people that have been waiting before.
And
so.
what the hell was Kinlaw chewing on, bro?
Seeds.
I was just like,
by the way,
no, it's sunflower seeds.
There is a lot of cuss words, so put your thing on mute, or if you're at work or low, or put your headphones in. I'll give you a second to change your sound settings if you're around kids. All right, here we go.
Baby, fam. What's
Can
up
you
with
hear me?
that?
I'm scared of you, Javon?
What's up with that, fam?
You think I'm scared of you, Javon?
Fam, I don't give a fuck if you are or not. All I know is when I walked up on you, your fucking body temperature was fucking cold as ice. Straight
check
bitch.
my body temperature?
Straight bitch. Your fucking balls shriveled up. Little dick nigga.
Hey, Javon,
do you think playing with me, bro?
Javon,
Bro,
do you think you're representing the 49ers well right now?
On this internet, bro.
Javon, do you think the 49ers are proud of what you're saying right now?
Stop playing with me like you know
This
me,
is funny as hell, though.
I don't even know what. I don't even know why you're mad, Javon.
I'm not one
funny
of
as
you.
hell.
Explain why you're mad.
You don't know me, bro.
I don't.
Stop playing with me on this fucking internet, bro.
I don't.
That's how I feel about ABAB. When I pull up on ABAB.
Come on, bro.
I got kids
that's
to raise,
not what
bro.
I'm doing,
Stop
bro.
playing with my fucking name on the internet, bro.
Hey, Javon, let me tell you.
Bro, fuck all that, man. Stop playing with my name, bro. Like, you're not going to see me every single day, bro.
I'm there. I'm be there every day.
Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me, bro.
And I want you to see
that,
man.
Bro.
I want you to prove me wrong. And if you
bro,
play
I'm
well,
gonna
I'll be
prove
the first
you
person to say it.
No, bro. I'm going to prove you. That's on God himself, boy. I was meant to be here, bro.
I appreciate it. I hope you do, Javon.
I was ordained to be here. I was born for this shit.
I'm rooting for you.
You don't understand that, bro?
I'm rooting for you. You don't understand. I'm not rooting against you, Javon.
I don't want to make it this far in life, boy. I've been supposed to be dead a long time ago. Everything happened for a reason, bro. I'm going to show you, bro.
I respect it.
Until, bro.
I respect
it. I have a shitty season this year, I promise you, you can rail me all you want. Until then, bro, leave my name alone, bro. I'm tired of that shit. I got kids, bro. I got kids.
I respect it.
I got kids, bro.
Javon, I respect it.
Fuck that, man. I got kids, bro.
At the same time,
bro.
Javon,
stop playing with me.
Javon, I gotta call like I see it,
bro.
I gotta call like I see it, man.
Bro, stop playing with me, bro. I'm not playing like that.
Okay.
I don't fucking play like that, bro.
Okay.
You don't fucking know me.
I hear you, man.
You don't fucking know me, bro.
I hear you.
You don't fucking know me like that, bro. Nobody, none of y'all motherfuckers know me like that, bro. Stop playing with me.
Okay.
I'm not the one.
I hear you,
I'm fucking not the one, bro.
Okay.
My whole family know what you look like. Just because of all that shit you've been talking, bro.
I got
my whole family know what you look like, bro. I'm not the one.
Analyzing you,
bro. I'm not the fucking one, bro.
If that's not a threat, I don't know what is. Stop playing with me. My family knows what you look like. Is a threat if I've ever heard one in my entire life.
Oh yeah, that
and
is
if y'all
clearly
disagree with that, I'm sorry. I can't. That's a threat.
That's like
That's
saying,
a straight
I'm not
threat.
gonna do nothing, but my family know what you look like, and they'll get
Take my name out your mouth, and I'm not saying nothing
that's
else after
that's
that,
that's the whole point. That's the threat. That's where the threat comes in.
You were a first round pick of the 49ers.
I don't care about none of the shit you're talking about, bro. Shut the fuck up. I'm not the one.
Thank you very
Damn.
much.
I'm not the one, bro.
I didn't see that part.
Yeah, bro.
Damn.
Bro, I promise you. All right, but swear jar's back in mode now. I'm telling you. Right
I missed
now,
my chance.
Yes, you did. You missed your chance. I promise y'all on everything. That's a threat. That's a straight threat. There's no other way to look at that.
Yeah, I agree, Steven.
There's none.
It's killing me to agree with you too.
You
it's
can't
killing me to agree
argue
with you, but that's a
on
threat.
that.
I'm sorry.
And if you do, you're gonna lose, bro.
My family know what you look like, and they may get at you. That's how I took it.
That's how I took it too.
And that's the threat. That's where the threat comes in.
All day. All right, we're all on the same page.
And trust me, Kinlaw, if he really is really contemplating getting at this dude, he ain't gonna get it. He gonna send his boys to go get at this dude.
They already
he ain't gonna get his hands dirty.
Let me bring
if he's smart.
Let me bring in Slim Shady Canes first.
Yeah.
What's up, Slim
Yeah.
Shady Canes? How are you?
What's going on, y'all? I'm great. How are y'all?
Pretty good, man. What's your thoughts on all this?
Okay. First of all, I got 2 points on this. First of all, football players are basically celebrities in this day and age.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So, number one, when it comes to the threat,
Hang on, Stevie D. I'll be back, bro. I'll be back.
All right, Ian.
even if you want to make the argument that it's not a threat, even if you want to make that argument, you have to take it as a threat in this day and age, because look at what's happened, hell, in the past couple of months. You've had 2 people walk on stage and attack comedians over a joke.
Yep.
It has to be seen that way because of how people are acting these days.
100%.
And as far as
by the way, I don't think that Javon. I want this to come to be real clear. I'm not saying Javon Kinlaw should be punished to the fullest extent. I'm just saying there needs to be some repercussions so that all of a sudden now players don't have it in their head that they can say anything they want to whoever they want, to YouTubers or whatever. That's where I don't want it to get twisted. Go ahead.
Yeah, I disagree with that, Stephen. I think they should be able to.
He's not media trained, so he don't know how to handle situations when being talked about.
That's on the 49ers then.
Yeah,
That's on
the 49ers do media training with the players. So
yeah, and I'm sure that they do with a first round draft pick. Yes, they do.
Though. That goes for beyond football. So don't think I'm taking that in just a football context. That's all types of entertainers have to be media trained because they're going to get challenged.
Ray said he never said I will F you up if you keep coming for me, bro. You don't have to say, hey, I'm gonna let's play this scenario out. I'm gonna kill you, right? No, dude, keep on playing, man. I have a gun at home. Keep on playing. That's the same thing. They mean the same thing.
Indirect threat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Steve, somebody's going to clip that.
He said. I know they are, but I'm trying to make a point. Like you don't have to say, "Hey, I'm going to come beat you up." Or I know where you at, man. Keep dude. He was like, "Bruh, keep my name out your mouth. Stop playing with me. My family knows what you look like, cuz that's what's about to happen. You're about to catch these hands." That's what he was saying. Don't tell me he wasn't.
Hey, you know who should be complimenting? Tua for not freaking out on us.
Now let's look at this at the highest level. Let's look at this at the highest echelon of player and the highest echelon of media. If Tom Brady said that to Max Kellerman for calling him a washed up old man for what, 6 years, 7 years, what would everybody have to say?
I'm just saying.
Tom Brady also said, I don't always say what's on my mind to the media because he knows if he were to.
I don't see.
But that's
said
my
that out
point.
of his mouth.
I'm with you guys that Cone had the right to say what he said, but I'm also against you guys where I think Javon had the right to do that. He just should not have been wearing a 49ers t-shirt. That's my only thing.
And for me, it's not even that, although that's a valid point, Roach. I feel, Javon, you have a right to be upset. I'm not even invalidating your feelings on it, bro. I'm just saying there's a way to go about it. And the way you went about it, you took a big fat L. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Big fat L.
So,
and you need to be punished for it.
Think about this. Stephen A attacks a lot of people on ESPN, but you'll never see nobody jumping down his throat.
Never.
And he always refers back to the same thing.
You want to know why? Because he works for ESPN and he makes $40 million a year doing what he does. This guy's a YouTuber, has nobody behind him, and makes whatever he makes off YouTube. That's it. All right, let me bring on David. I have other people that want to get up in here. Let me bring on David. What's up, David?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? I actually agree with you guys in this sense. He did threaten him. Absolutely. And I wish someone would with me. And anyway, let me just move on. There's a difference between YouTubers and media. I think media has the obligation to speak truth, absolute truth with no bias. YouTubers can say what they want because they could be confronted on different panels and different things, and they can be confronted on their opinions. But they don't have an obligation to speak absolute truth. They have an obligation to speak opinions because that's what they're going to do. But YouTubers don't have the obligation to speak absolute truth. And my problem is that the media in general only speaks half truths, and that's the problem I have.
But they're allowed to.
No, they're not allowed to. You have to bring out truth. If you don't have a love for absolute truth, then there's no reason for you to be speaking.
David, David, here's where I'm going to disagree with you. Do I agree with your point? Yeah, when I listen to somebody, I want to know what they're saying is true, right? But I also disagree with you because of two reasons. Number one, I believe in freedom of speech. I think
absolutely
you should be able to say whatever you want. And the second reason is kind of goes hand in hand. There's like 2A and 2B. Number one, I could choose to turn you off and not listen to you if you're full of it.
And that's why I don't listen to media.
And 2B is you also have to realize that with everything that comes out your mouth, there's consequences for it. Okay? For every action, there's a reaction. And what I'm saying to this guy is I don't think that Grant Cohn said anything out of left field. I don't think he went.
No, I agree with you.
I don't think he said anything that
Stephen, let me say this.
Gene warranted the reaction that it got.
Let me say this. If he was doing that for Sports Illustrated, that wouldn't have happened. He's doing it on a YouTube page.
I agree.
There's a difference between those two.
YouTube. I agree. I agree with that.
Well, see, I don't think there is a huge difference because I get where you're saying that the media has responsibility to the truth, but this isn't the nightly news talking about the Ukraine war. This is sports, and a lot of it is opinion-based.
Yeah, but there's a point of time that they have to speak truth. You can't always be an opinion-based if the opinion's not correct.
Well, a lot of it is
that's the right of the platform.
On the table. That's
a lot of
think.
sports talk is speculation.
I can't hear all of you guys. You got to speak one at a time.
So on his show, he could do anything he wants on his show.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, so he don't have to be straight facts. He could be opinion based the whole time if he wants.
When he's on YouTube, I agree. He can say whatever he wants to say. Right. But if he's writing for Sports Illustrated, he's obligated to tell the truth. There's a difference.
Well, that depends on the company you work for and what the rules are. So if you work for the National Enquirer,
there's rules with media. If the media lies, they get in big trouble for it.
But it depends if it's an opinion piece,
and yet they still lie.
But
I think the only truth in sports talk is the stats. Everything else is opinion.
Well, I think it's a bigger problem than just sports talk. I think it's the whole media.
But I was about to say Q. But David, all we're talking about right now is sports talk.
Well, I agree. But he has the right to say what he wants on YouTube. He has a right to say what he wants on YouTube.
But even if that wasn't the case, he did not say anything disrespectful. He literally was critiquing the player.
He has a right to
Stephen,
say
if he's talking
about
regular media, he's talking like CNN, Fox, and all that. And the thing is, I think most of what you're referring to is opinion-based stuff. Most news today is opinion-based. It's not really factual based.
Again, that's not. I just want to reiterate.
My point.
That's not the point I'm making.
That's my point.
Right, but it's okay for them to do it, is what I'm saying.
I'm not saying that it's not, but they also have an obligation. If the media is gonna speak, they also have an obligation to speak truth.
All right, let me bring on Rashad.
YouTubers don't.
What's up, Rashad? How are you, Rashad?
We're just making up rules now.
What's up, Rashad? Take yourself off mute, Rashad.
Yo.
What's up, man?
Not much. Von Joe pretty much spilled it as clear as I could have.
So even after hearing that, you still don't think that was a threat?
I still don't think it was a threat.
Bro, I can't help you, Rashad.
It was definitely a threat.
It was definitely a threat, son. That's what he said is one of those things you can take it how you want. Honestly, because if he wanted to threaten,
take it how you want, bro. I don't get how you guys can argue with
y'all. Are completely ignoring everything
Rashad,
he said before. He said, "I have kids to raise."
I wish someone would talk to me like that.
He said, if I have a you know what season this year, you can talk about me all you want. Until then, just keep my name out your mouth. Like y'all ignoring all of this stuff. He kept saying, keep my name out your mouth. And he just kept ignoring everything he was saying. He was like, my family knows your face. I mean, you can take it as a threat. Where I'm from, I would take it as a threat. I would. But
thank you.
If I said to somebody, I'm going to tell you, take it how you want. I'm not threatening you. Look, I'm telling you, just to let you know, you can take it as a threat if you want. Because I can't control, honestly, what my family does or does not do. I might be warning you. honestly. My family knows your face. Stop talking about me.
Like a threat.
Get what I'm saying? Like everything
It's like
he
an
said
indirect threat.
can be taken in different contexts. That does not mean what he said wasn't a threat, but it doesn't mean it was a threat as well. Honestly, it seems like YouTube don't feel no type of way about it because the video hasn't been demonetized or anything. Like it's still up till this day, and he said a lot of stuff.
Rashad,
So
what I will say to you, bro, and I feel like you and I agree a lot on most things, and so
almost everything,
but this one we don't, and that's fine. But what I feel like there's no. I think the bigger thing that I'm trying to be like, why am I harping on this? Why is this such a big deal for me that I want people to see my side of this? I think I want you all to see my side of this because I think the understanding.
1 second, Stephen. I gotta go. I'll call you later on. All right.
All right, David. I think the one thing that I think is interesting from this is I think it sets a precedent moving forward with YouTubers, and I am a YouTuber, right? And I feel like if we're going to be, I want YouTubers to be taken seriously in this business. I think we are a real force to be reckoned with mainstream media. Personal opinion. You don't have to agree with it. Personal opinion. But I think that if you're going to allow players to say stuff like that, that's never happened in the past. We need to start having rules for stuff like that, in my opinion. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. There should be rules, but there hasn't been yet. We see YouTubers fight. Like they meet up and they fight. They get it out. They hash it out. Whatever. YouTubers aren't protected by anybody. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to be a YouTuber. You decided to be one.
Exactly. And you're making my point for me, Rashad, because I said if he was with a bigger entity like a newspaper, like a local or this never would have went down in this way. It wouldn't have happened.
I believe it.
Because it would have happened a long time ago with somebody like Omar Kelly or Armando Salgaro or somebody who, especially down in South Florida here. Don't tell me that wouldn't have been the case.
I believe it will. I believe it would have been, but that's partly my point. Like he's not. He's a YouTuber. YouTubers don't have the same protection as these news outlets and platforms and all of that stuff. They don't have rules they have to abide by. In a sense, they can say what they want, honestly. The same way Javon Kinlaw got on YouTube and said what he wanted.
Yeah, and I don't want that to get mistaken too. I don't think that. I think people are like, Steven, you're not taking into account Javon Kinlaw or his feelings. I do take into that account. I think he has a right to feel the way he feels, man.
Mm-hmm.
But you make however much money, you're a first round draft pick, act accordingly. Is my point.
I get that point, 100%.
He hear the noise. That's all he confirmed. It bothers him. That's all it confirms to me.
Yeah.
Talk about me?
No, I'm talking
or
about
Javon Kinlaw.
Kinlaw.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Kinlaw.
Yeah. It bothers.
He hears the noise. Like I said, if you want the narrative to change, get healthy and do it on the field.
And by the way, and that also means that Cohen was just the loudest. He was making the most waves with what he was saying. It doesn't mean he was wrong. It doesn't mean he was out of pocket. It just means he was the loudest, and Kinlaw heard him more than anybody, and he was an outlet that he could take out his frustration on, is what I think.
Yep. So that's exactly what it sounded like.
I'm asking the panel a question. I know what the answer is going to be, but I want to hear from y'all mouth. Do we choose to pick to? Hold on, I'm sorry. Do we choose what we give our attention to?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
So he chose to give his attention. He's hearing it, but like I said, he chose to give his attention to it. And by him choosing it, it just built up over time, and he spazzed out. He still has that hood mentality. He just got into the league, a year or two ago? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't. I'm not mad at him, but it's a fact. Is a fact.
You know what else it tells me? Oh God, I just forget my thought that quick.
Boy, that happened all the time to me, boy. I'd be thinking something real good, and then bam, I'd be forgetting.
But pretty much like he's pretty much had enough. It's built up over time. And as he said before, like if I have a crappy season next year, then come for me. Yeah. Like until then, leave my name out your mouth.
So keep
my wife's name out your mother loving mouth.
So I'm supposed to like this.
Do I have to smack you to stop? Like,
dude's not looking for a bag. I'm sorry, that's just a stupid. Like,
I'm just asking that. Am I supposed to discard what you did previously?
What are you talking about?
Healthy or unhealthy?
Kinlaw? No, I'm not.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you want me to praise you. You want the praise, but you don't want the accolades.
That's why Ray Love. That's why Ray Love, who by the way, I appreciate you coming on. I'd love to have you come on again. I have to disagree with you. Like, I'm not just going to give you praise for the sake of giving you praise. Like, if you're a Tampa Bay Lightning fan, like Luis is, I'm going to say the Tampa Bay Lightning sucks. But it doesn't deny the fact that the Florida Panthers got beat by them 4-0. Okay, I'm sorry. What's up, Luis?
What's up, Steven? Thanks for having me on. What's up, everybody on the panel? What's going on?
What's up, man?
Hello, Mr. Tampa Bay Lightning fan. How are you?
Hey, I'm past that, Steven. I'm past that. We're just waiting for the opponent. Actually, I'm just waiting for the boat parade, really. But that's all that is.
Watch that lightning slander.
What's your thoughts on this, Luis?
Listen, I can see both sides of the argument. The only thing I would say for Kinlaw, like, I agree, he handled it wrong. He shouldn't have went on that platform. I mean, he could have came on the platform. He just didn't have to go at him the way he kind of went at him. So I agree with that. But in Kinlaw's kind of like defense, it's kind of like, I think it was you, Steven, that made the comment about if it was an entity from ESPN or from Fox.
Even a local newspaper, even a local news station there in San Francisco.
Right. So, yeah, I agree with that statement. But the problem is Kinlaw also said that guy, and like George Kittle also came out, that this guy is also in their locker room. So if Kinlaw does see him every day, and that guy is like happy-go-lucky when he sees Kinlaw face-to-face, but then when he gets on his platform, it's just talking trash about him, kind of, then there isn't like a double standard there. If you're gonna be one way on your platform, when you see me in the building, keep that same energy.
Can I argue a point? Let me hold on. Let me argue that point with you, Luis. So as a reporter, forget Grant Cohn for a second. As a reporter, my job every day is to critique or to talk about what is going on with a subject or a team, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, where am I spending most of my time? With the team, covering that team, developing relationships. You can be a good person, or you could be a straight a-hole, one of the two, but my job is to be critical of you no matter what.
Right.
And from what I get, okay, it shouldn't matter if you're an a-hole or a good person. My job is to develop, is to talk about and discuss what is going on said thing. That is his job.
Well, Luis, what do you think he's going to do? Like, he watches practice, he sees bad practice. You expect him to go in the locker room and be like, hey, why'd you suck today? Like, he's going to go write about it. He's there trying to have a positive work atmosphere, probably happy with everybody. And then he goes home and he reports what he sees, whether it hurts the people that he's friends with or not. It's his job.
I feel like in most work situations, that could be looked at as, man, you smile in my face, but talk about crap at me behind my back.
Don't do crap in front of me when I'm a reporter.
All this stuff is public. It's not like he is going behind his back. He is saying what he's saying, and we could talk about it. I'm sure. I don't know for a fact, but I'm fairly confident that somebody would be like, hey, bro, I'm here. What do you want to talk about? Like, we could talk about it. We can have a conversation.
And he does ask questions at the press conference, and the teams don't like the questions he asks.
But I've also heard, like Stephen A. Smith, for example, on ESPN. I've heard Stephen A. say that he's went up to athletes and said, hey, there's a story that's out or whatever, and I'm going to come out and report this, but I just want to let you know first. Like, he could have went to Kinlaw first. Like, we don't know.
There was no story to talk about. He's talking about his play, though, Luis. He's talking about his play. It's not like, hey, you had an affair with a lady, or hey, you were with a massage therapist, or hey, you got arrested for drunk drive. It wasn't a story. It's, bro, you have not done nothing on the field.
You're a bust.
You're a bust.
I mean, listen, I get it. I when I first came on, I said I didn't agree how he handled it. I just think, like, we keep saying it was a threat. Yeah, Kinlaw did threaten. I'm not saying it wasn't a threat.
All right, so you admit it was a threat. It was a threat.
No. Oh, absolutely. When he says it like that, no, I'm not. I've never once argued that it wasn't a threat. But okay, like in that interview that you played a couple minutes ago, Cohen did look at him and say, "Oh, do you think I'm scared of you?" Like, so he was kind of like going back and forth with him. It wasn't like he said, "Hey, why you disrespecting me?" or nothing. He did. I mean, that guy Cohen also said, "Oh, I'm not like scared of you." Like, so if someone is threatening you and your comeback is, "Well, I'm not scared," then they're both going at each other. It wasn't just like Kinlaw was just by himself in it.
And he addressed all that yesterday in his live stream.
I mean, to me, this is the overarching point. It is a very prestigious privilege to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
Much like I started off with, any other celebrity position, whether you're singer, actor, whatever. And you are expected to conduct yourself accordingly or by a certain set of guidelines. So I'll be the bad guy and say it. When you're paid that much money and you're in that prestigious of a position,
you're
fuck your feelings.
Swear jar.
I'll re-up with you in a minute.
But Slim Shady Canes is not wrong. Like, that's a fair statement. Like, you just, is it fair? No, it's
Take
not.
the heat or get out of the kitchen.
But it
He's
comes
yet to get in
with the
trouble
territory.
though. So
Nobody's
somebody
saying
does
that he
sees
has.
nothing. I'm saying
I don't think
somebody
either of
sees
them should be in trouble.
No, that's my point right there. That's my point right there.
I do think Kinlaw should have some sort of reprimand. I don't know.
I guarantee
I
you,
do think I
John
think
Lynch
he should
has
be
already.
reprimanded by the
I don't know if
San
that's
49ers.
I don't know if
as
that's
it should go.
And I think I think a maximum penalty for Kinlaw, and I'm not saying it should happen. I'm just going off the top of my head.
Right.
You're suspended without pay for a game.
I can tell you, he was warned.
You're suspended. $100,000. It needs to be something severe where it hurts his pockets.
Well, I can tell you, the fact that they already had a sit down.
Just warn him, and like, hey, don't let this happen again. I understand that you were in your feelings. I understand that such and such happened. But if this happens again, you're representing us, and representing us, we may have to fine you next time.
I would be okay. I would be okay even without a fine.
Hey,
but
I'm telling you, they already did it. They already did
The
that.
49ers front office might not even like this dude.
And by the way, I think it should be severe because what I don't want is to set a precedent. That's what I don't want. I'm not saying that what he did should not equate to $100,000 fine, right? What I'm saying is, should he get fined $100,000? Yes, so that next time a player has beef with a YouTuber or somebody, that he's not going on there and threatening them.
Well,
I just don't want it to set a precedent. That's
I can tell
all
you
I
this,
don't
Steven.
want.
If they already sat down with two of them with John Lynch and already squashed this, if he was going to get fined, it would already happened.
Right.
So I guarantee you, he got a warning.
I think maybe the Niners could have said, "Go ahead, do it." Like I'm not gonna say he sat there and asked them, but I'm not pretty sure. I think they would have given him the green light if he hasn't been fined already. Because I'm pretty sure he thought about it, like, can I do this? Should I do this? And they probably was like, we don't like him anyway. Go ahead. Like, there's people in the Dolphins front office who don't like Armando, or I'm pretty sure Omar got a lot of slack for giving out that Connor Williams was playing center. You heard Mike McDaniel's reaction, like, "Oh
how do you
really?
see that?
Like, okay."
Because these teams absolutely have to put up with reporters they don't like, because there's a portion of the fan base that does like them. And I'll give you a perfect example.
Right, exactly.
There's a huge part of the MMA community that loves Ariel Helwani, but Dana White hates him.
Yo, he hates him with a passion, but Ariel Helwani keeps it 100. I don't care what nobody says.
I mean,
that's my man,
they have
100
to put up
grand.
with
I
people
love
that
him.
they don't like just because other people do like them.
Yeah, I think he keeps it real. All right, guys, it's 12:40 in the afternoon. It's no longer a morning show. We've now crossed over into the unknown, the afternoon. We're going to wrap up. We're going to do final thoughts of the day.
I'll go first.
I want everybody to hit that like button, donate to the channel, help the channel grow. Yeah, man, help the channel grow. let's go. Let's make this a big thing. Share, like, you know the works. Yeah, that's all I really got to say before I do my final thought. Roach, final thought of the day.
Don't cancel people. Just don't watch them. Let them do what they do. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Don't click on it.
Yep.
And if they are doing anything that is against, like, is anything racist that can get people hurt, that's like pornographic, any of that on YouTube, it automatically gets flagged and they get taken down anyways.
Yep.
So just don't watch it.
I agree.
But
I agree.
Yep.
What are you doing this weekend, Roach?
I don't know. Probably playing Super Smash Bros, watching some alien stuff, and looking for Bigfoot.
You do you, man. Enjoy your holiday weekend. Yep. Yeah, man. Enjoy your holiday weekend, bro.
We need Bigfoot as a linebacker.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at
you. All right, y'all. Peace. Thanks, guys.
Be easy, man. Be good. Luis, you're next. Final thought of the day.
All right, Stephen. Thanks for having me on. Always appreciate what you do. Yeah, man. I think everybody has some valid points. I would call it a threat, but I kind of, I don't think he handled it right going on that platform, but it's just a bad situation, I guess, man. But I kind of agree with Kinlaw a little bit, but that's all I got, Stephen. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you and everybody. Just be safe on this holiday. There's going to be a lot of, partying and stuff, and I know how.
Be safe, man.
Things can just be. Everybody be safe, man. We live in a crazy time, so just be safe.
Yep.
So
enjoy your family.
Absolutely, Steve. Oh, before I go, Stephen, I know I reached out to you on Twitter and stuff, but don't let no one. Anytime you feel like the other day that show, there's no apologies, man. Like I think that was probably one of your best show, man. I love to see that emotion and. We got to remember that it's not only about sports, man. There's a lot of things that go on. So it was very powerful, and I really did appreciate it, Stephen.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I do want to, Luis, just to keep you up here just a little bit longer. I am trying to create an atmosphere where all are welcome and all feel welcome. I understand that in the chat that does not always occur. I do my best of what I can in the chat. And I think some things need to change from what I have seen over the last couple of days. But what I will say is I do love y'all, and I felt like that because I felt like, I come in here to do a show. Should I have even done one the other day? But I felt it was on my heart, and I needed to do it. And so that's why I apologize. Like, you guys come here for, content, and there's a measurable, a deliverable that I want to give to you. And I just didn't feel like I brought it the other day with that, even with that. So, that's where I was coming from.
Absolutely, and I agree. And I'm not going to speak for anybody in the chat or anybody on the panel. I just think, for me personally, I don't come on your show or come and watch you on your platform just because of sports. I come because genuinely, I don't want to cuss, but I F with you. You know what I'm saying? You keep it real. You're a real one. So no matter if it's sports or it's an issue that's going on in life, and you're showing me emotion. As long as you're keeping it real and 100 with me, that's what I respect, man. So that's what I respect about you.
I appreciate
for
that.
Sure.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Y'all boys be easy, man, and be safe.
Easy. Happy holiday weekend. All right, let me bring on somebody who's in the back room real quick before I let you three guys go. Nacho Finn. What's up, Nacho Finn? I'm sorry you were in the back room, bro.
No, it's all good, bro. I was working, and I just barely got back into the delivery vehicle that I'm in. No, man, you know what, Steven? No, seriously. I know we had the debate today about what was right or wrong on this topic. And, I'm just, it's good it's fun to talk about, man. We just up here having fun, chopping it up at the end of the day. And what you did the other day, bro, you don't have to be sorry, but you don't have to apologize to nobody. This is your channel. You did the right thing. I don't care what nobody says about what you said that day. There's people down here still numb about this, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I just tell you 100%. I just got a question for all you guys. What were y'all doing at 4 a.m. in the morning? Serious, man. I'm not joking. What were y'all doing at 4 a.m. today?
I was sleeping.
Sleeping, right? Most of y'all sleeping?
Yeah.
I was on my way down the road at 2:30 this morning.
Right. Okay. Well, there was some people sleeping. There was some people up.
was working.
That community at 4 a.m. is still mourning, and these people are restless. I passed by this morning, and they have.
You live right there in that community, don't you?
Bro, I pass through there every day. I passed through there the day that it happened. I didn't know that it happened until I got home. But there's candles and balloons. 4 a.m., man, and these people are still grieving. They can't go to sleep, man. And then just like the stories of these parents, man, they didn't know where their kids were, and just about every parent they put on camera that said that, they described their kid. If you paid attention to the last names of these people, I saw the photos the next day of these kids, man. I mean, it's heartbreaking, man. One lady was talking about, she had just talked to her niece, and she was worried that day about if she was going to make all-stars for softball, and she doesn't even get that opportunity as a kid to just be a kid and play ball.
You're the man, bro. I hear you, man. I appreciate you saying what you're saying, and just know that you're loved and everybody's loved up here, man. And
no, man, it's not me, bro. It's them.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry, y'all.
No, don't apologize, man. I didn't want to interrupt. I wanted you to take your time with what you want to say and finish what you have in your mind. It's Spread Kindness Friday, and
yeah, bro. I
think we need to feel that.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
to be reminded of that.
There's a reason for why you're doing what you're doing. For somebody to do something like this, bro, that's just. Me and Ian talked about it. We joke around, kid around. We troll each other for the most part, man. And if you ever feel like I'm actually being serious, bro, I never am. I never am. But there does come a point in your life when you got to put your foot down and be, serious about things going on in the real world. And that's what you did that day, and that's what you're doing with your show on Fridays. And you don't need to apologize to anybody, because look at what just happened this week. That was somebody that in their life they might have just been thinking that there was never kindness extended to them. I mean, the kid literally got into an argument. It's debatable on who was arguing what, but it was either he was upset he didn't graduate or his grandma was getting on to him for not graduating. That's where all this stemmed from. That's where it started. And one of the stories that tore me up today the most, was there was EMT.
Yeah.
He showed up on the scene, and he said a little girl ran out, covered in blood from head to toe, and she was crying that she said they had shot her best friend, and her best friend was dead. And when he asked her what the little girl's name was, she said Emery, and his daughter goes to that school, and that's his daughter's name, and that's how he found out that his daughter was no longer alive, bro. And just to see that, man, and to see those people.
Estefan, you've been on the show for a long time, bro, and you've been a big supporter of my platform, and
Stephen, that's not the first time I've had to drive by an incident like this, man. It was like 3 years ago. A guy went into a church and shot up everybody in Sutherland Springs, Texas. That happened in 2017, bro. That's literally right off the road where literally like feet from where I drive every day, bro. And there's something about when you see this stuff, something went down, bro, because you feel it in your soul, bro. If you're just a human being, bro, like, I mean, if you don't feel some type of movement, or you're not reflecting on your life when stuff like this happens, when you hear about it on the news, it doesn't affect you when it's far away from you. But when it's at your front door, and I got to be honest with you, man, from Monday to Wednesday, I've been at 3 areas where there's been mass shootings, and that was the third one. The other one that I was in Fort Hood Wednesday, bro, they had a rogue They said he was a radical, it's terrorist that killed 13 soldiers. And I talked to a guy that was working on base, and he told me how that went down. And I don't know why, bro, but I'm just close to a lot of it. And when you're in these areas and you pass by, something went down, you feel it in your soul, bro, that a lot of people passed away. This got to be what war feels like, man. You know what I mean? I never been around it. I wouldn't care to be around. I mean, I would pick up an arm to protect my family. Don't get me wrong, man. But Texans are prideful people, but we ain't too proud right now, bro.
Well, just know I love you, brother, and I'm here with you, and I think we're all here with you in the chat and on the panel, and we know that you're going through something, and that's part of what I want.
I'm good. I'm good, man. It's just I haven't really talked.
It doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like you've had a chance to let it out, man. I'm glad you're letting it out right now.
No, yeah, man. I mean, this morning when I drove by, bro, I mean, of course I was dropping tears, bro, because it hits you. It's different when you just see it on the TV, but when you see it, man, it's just you cannot replicate what that feeling is like, man. And I feel for all those people. It didn't even happen to me, man, but I have a son that's just as old, man, as those kids in the same grade, bro. For some reason, it just seems like everybody I'm talking to right now has a 10-year-old fourth grader, bro. Everybody.
It was second, third, and fourth graders, right? It was second, third, and fourth graders, and I have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old, man.
It's a mixed bag, bro. There's people there's mourning. There's people that are asking questions.
I think the thing that hit me the most was why I made the tweet the other day. I said, man, it's like 1:30 in the morning, and my kids got up to use the bathroom, and I got to tuck them back in, and I'm like, man, there's somebody that tonight they're not going to get up. They're not going to get up because their kids got up or not able to tuck their kids in, and that I don't know an adjective to use, but I just know it ate me up inside,
And that's normal, man, because you're a father. You truly are a good person, bro. If anybody that's on this platform actually has built up animosity to hate somebody like you, they need to reflect on themselves and just like reevaluate themselves, bro. I mean, you really got to be a dirtbag to not like you, bro. For real, man. I troll you all the time because I disagree with those.
I don't have a problem with trolls. I'm a flip flopper, but
yeah.
Really saying that, man.
I do it at a fun, but if I'm ever trolling too much, man, you can always reach out and be like, hey, bro, troll a little too hard for today, can you?
No, and
can you back off?
And to change subjects just a little bit.
Yeah, man.
I know that 1, 2, 3, 4 Eps and EM had a spat on the chat today.
Oh, they'll be good, bro.
And I know that 1, 2, 3, 4 Eps is feeling what he's feeling, and know that I've reached out to him, and I want to let him calm down. But just know, like, I personally, like, not everybody's gonna like everybody. Not everybody's gonna love everybody. When they were getting into it, I muted them both for 300 seconds just to get everybody to calm down because I was in the middle of dealing with the platform.
I completely missed it. I didn't even know this happened.
But the point of what I'm trying to make is no matter what happens with Eps or EM or whoever is in the chat that beefs with whoever, I ask you all to not try to take it personal. If it happens in the chat, I mean, look, I have a difficult time muting people because I don't want to people to feel like they can't express themselves or say what they want to say, but try to not take it, like, don't go personal, don't go below the belt, and I put that in quotations. Try to be kind to one another, and if you don't like somebody, just ignore them, like, seriously. And I know that's easier said than done, but just know I love Epps and I love EM, and I have respect for them both. And I know I'm going to talk to both of them hopefully off air, but
that's fine. But there is such a thing as tough love, and they're both grown ass men, and they'll be fine, Steven. They're grown. I'm sorry, bro, but if you ain't a kid, you ain't innocent, and you need to learn to kiss and make up and love people and be forgiving, and that's
the reason I brought it up in the first place is I do think
kiss and make up with your family members. If you have animosity, I mean, I don't know if you got people listening, bro, but you got family members today that you have built up animosity towards. Kiss and make up. Tell you the people that are closest to you in your close circles that you love them. Give them a hug. Because you never know. It might not happen to you directly. You might be at a scene. You might see something, and you're gonna reflect that day. But just why wait? Like, just make it every day. You know what I mean? You just never know.
If people know Epps or talk to him, just reach out to him. Because I do love Epps and I want them to feel welcome here. And if he doesn't, I don't want that to be the case either. And I love everybody, and you know that, Stefan. And I know that not everybody's gonna.
They're both a part of this community, bro. Like nobody's really gonna take sides on any when two people have a dispute or a debate. It's just a debate. I don't even know what they talked about, but were they arguing?
I could only find bits and pieces because I was like trying to like host the channel. But aside from that, to go back to your thing, I am glad that you had an opportunity. I'm glad I brought you on for final thought of the day. And
why is that?
Because, man, I love you, and I want you to know I love you, and that you have a place to come to when you're feeling like you were feeling today. And you know, that's here for you, man. Some people just need to get stuff off their chest. And if my channel is a way for them to do that, dude, let's make it happen, bro. Like, I want what's best for everybody, man.
No, I just, I mean, I didn't come on with the intention to be like
but it was on
downer.
But it was on your heart. You weren't being a downer. It was on your heart, and you wanted to. I could, like, bro. I'm a religious guy. I'm not trying to get religious on y'all, but I feel like you needed that, bro. You needed that right there, and I'm always here for you, man.
I appreciate that, man. There ain't nothing wrong with being religious either, bro.
I just don't want to.
Cool.
Look, my daughter came. My daughter is here. Do y'all want to see her real quick and say hello? You want to say hi?
Of course.
All right, come here. Come here. They want to say hello to you. Come here. They want to say hello to you. Here. There we go. Put these on, and you can talk. Estefan is on. Say hello.
Hi.
Hello.
You guys talk to her.
Hi there.
Hello there, mija.
Just like Steven.
In Spanish. That's what we say in Spanish to the ones that we love that are family.
Can you say go Dolphins?
Go Dolphins.
Hey, who's your favorite football player? Dolphins. No, who's your favorite football player? Who's the quarterback? Tua
Tagovailoa.
Tua Tagovailoa. And who's Daddy's favorite quarterback of all time? Dan Marino? You knew that. And then one time for the people. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Miami has the
Dolphins.
The greatest
football team.
They take the ball from
goal to goal.
Like no one's
ever seen.
They're in the
air.
They're on the
ground.
They're always
in control.
And when you say
Miami,
you're talking
Super Bowl.
Because we're the
Miami
Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. All right, let me finish up my show and then I'll come on and hang out with you, okay? What do you need? You can tell me. Is it open today? I think it's supposed to rain. Give me about 10 minutes and I'll talk to you guys. I got about 10 minutes left on the show, okay? All right? Do you want to say hello?
Hello. It's time to go, man.
Say here. You say hello.
What's up, kiddo?
On the chat too.
Hello.
What up, dude?
What's going on, young man?
Good.
you say go Dolphins?
Go Dolphins.
Go Dolphins.
What's up?
All right. I'll talk to you guys in about 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes and I'll come and hang out with you. Go in your room for a minute.
Can we go on the computer?
Yes.
Oh.
And your tablets.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that.
Thanks, Steven. I didn't, bro. Your kids are, and they're good-looking kids, man. You know.
Hey,
if I
didn't do nothing else in this world, I made some good-looking kids. I know that.
Yeah. They,
my
man,
kids
they
are awesome.
really,
I love them.
they look awesome, bro.
Yeah,
I think we all.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna piggyback on something you said real quick before we get off here.
Yeah.
Because I've got a daughter of my own. I got another one on the way, and actually I've got custody of my cousin's 5-year-old too. I had to take him in, and I think all of us, feel a lot like you do about what happened. But I've literally had this happen to me, and a couple of times, and it bothers me. People have got to realize that everybody feels bad about it, and just because somebody has a different solution than you doesn't make them a bad person.
Correct.
I've had because I carry every day. I do not leave my house without at least one on me, and I've had people literally come up to me in public and say that these kids' blood are on my hands.
No.
Nah, bro.
And people got to get away from that.
I think,
find it as boring as everybody else.
But can I offer you some insight, Slim Shady? And they're wrong. Don't get me wrong. I agree with you, but know that they're hurting too. Like, and I'm not saying they're grown people, and I agree that adults should make better decisions. But I think we're all hurt right now, and hurt people. And so when somebody does that, don't take it personal. I just think that they're hurting just like you are, man. And that's why I've always lived by the motto of spread kindness, spread positivity, spread love, because I feel like that's where we're going to get better as a society, no matter what your politics or your view on it. Like, and I don't want to get into all that, but that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and I don't either. And I be perfectly honest with you, I don't care about other people's politics. I have friends that are far on the other side of the spectrum from me. I don't care. Yeah. We just disagree on things. That's all.
Yep. No, I'm glad you said that, because I just want people to realize if you encountered that, Slim Shady, I'm sorry that you encountered that, but know that I love you, brother, and that I think that they just, even if they disagree with your politics or your standpoint on it, they shouldn't have said it that way. That was real rude and mean of them, and I would not ever tell my children to go about disputing stuff like that. But
right.
Just know that they're hurt, man, and I feel like we're all hurting right now, and that's real.
And I agree with that. And to a point you made a minute ago, you do a pretty good job of even making people from other fan bases feel welcome around here.
I appreciate that. You're a Tampa Bay fan. I don't say,
exactly.
You root for Baby Brady. I don't say nothing about you, but I love you. No, but
hey,
I mean, look,
I got no hate for the Dolphins.
That's why I have Jets people in my chat, and I have Buffalo people in my chat, and I have Patriots people in my chat. I do, man. I try to. I love everybody, and I know not everybody lives by that philosophy, and not everybody, and some people are more controversial than others. But just, I'm always going to be who I am, and that's just me. That's just me. All right. Final thought of the day, because I got to get out of here and go hang out with my kids. So real quick, all three of you, final thought of the day, real quick, go.
I'll go first. Final thought. I'm gonna leave you on a little bit of a joke and a higher note. To whoever that was that I had a disagreement with a couple weeks ago about Canelo, how about that whooping your boy took?
Words hurt, son. I know Estefan hurting over there.
Hey, bro. Hey, I'm good. I'm not a casual boxing fan. I knew what Dimitri brought to the table, and that's why I was telling everybody Canelo's crazy. If you actually know about boxing, then he's actually taking a risk. And you have a lot of people saying that he was ducking, but No, that's nothing for him to put his head down. I mean, he can still come back from it, and he's still saying that he wants a rematch. So I honestly, if I was him, I wouldn't do it right away. I would take some warm up fights in that weight class before I went at that guy again, because that guy's in his prime. So that's
yeah,
I like
out
Dimitri Bivol style, and I gained more respect from it.
Oh yeah, and I knew that was a dangerous fight for him too. He just found out there's a big difference between over the hill Kovalev and somebody in his prime.
Hey, real quick, guys, donate to the channel.
Well, I mean,
donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. If you owe your swear jars, pay your swear jar fees and hit the like button. All right, Slim Shady Canes, I appreciate it, brother. Be good, man.
Yes, sir. Y'all too.
All right, Estefan, final thought real quick.
Hey, I'm breaking up a little bit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I said final thought. Your
Hold
last
on.
thought.
Okay. Yeah. No, just thanks for having me on, bro. I didn't know it was gonna come out like that. But I mean, I'm a grown man, and no, thank you for the space, man. I got to be honest, I'm a little bit, maybe even embarrassed, man. But
don't be embarrassed, bro.
I mean, dude, I don't even, I really don't care right now, to be honest, man, because I think what bothers a lot of people with this situation is that it was kids, bro, and just like your lovable kids that you just put on camera, man, they're innocent, bro, and they don't deserve that. And we are grown adults that if we were put in that situation, maybe Slim said he carries, and if I was carrying that day, I would have shot first and thought later, bro. I would have tried my best to protect those kids, and if that meant that I wasn't gonna wake up the next day, then that's what it is, bro. There's a lot of upset people down here, even just talking about that, because they felt like they took too long because they were exchanging with him before you went in there.
There's some news that I don't want to get into the politics of that, but there is some news that just came out on the AP News that was just reported about that in like the last hour.
Yeah, so that's some of the stuff that's being discussed, but it's not about right and wrong. It happened already, and may all them kids just enjoy heaven, man, and greet us when we all get there, and just pray for those families, man. If you ain't prayed in a while, man, you're not a praying person. Whoever you pray to, whoever is your God, there's no judgment who your God is. It's not, you pray to whoever you pray to, for those people. But yeah, man, thank you, man. That's all I got.
I love you, brother. Be good, man. All right, Concrete Slick, you're a final thought of the day, man.
All right. I just want to say, man, never apologize for being human. Never apologize for being human. That's one aspect of life a lot of us forget about. We're human. Things are going to affect us, even if it's not indirectly affecting us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Also, I want to tell people, hit the like button, donate to the channel. If you're not watching live, go back and watch and hit the heart and donate there. Like I said, I do have a podcast coming soon. It's called
Shout it out, man. Let the people know.
It's called Realer Than Most Talk, the podcast, and it's going to touch on a little bit of everything. I'm just looking for a female co-host so we can have open conversations, and we're going to talk about everything. Nothing's off limit. It's going to be raw and uncut, and it's going to be respectable, transparent, and direct. I thank you, Stephen, for the platform, letting us come out here, speak our piece, speak our minds, and it's actually bringing us together. So we love you for that, brother.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you, Concrete. That means a lot, man. Be good. Enjoy your family and friends, and just have a beautiful weekend, man.
All right, you too, man.
All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. I'm your host, Stephen D. We got about 5 minutes left, less than. If you guys could donate to the channel and help the channel grow, that would help me out tremendously. It would go such a long way. There's 3 different ways you guys can donate. You guys can do the YouTube live super chat, which is the $ down at the bottom of the chat. Or you guys, if you're rewatching this, just like Concrete Slag, you can use the super thanks, which is the heart sign down at the bottom of the chat. Or you guys can also use Cash App and PayPal. Cash App and PayPal have less fees that get taken out. So if you donate up there, it definitely helps a little bit more. So, $1 is not 50 cents. $1 is like 94 cents. So yes, donate to the channel, help the channel grow. It goes such a long way into helping the channel grow. So I put the links for PayPal and Cash App up there. You guys can do it. Enjoy your weekend. Hug your family. Love your family. If you don't get along with them, squash the beef this weekend. You never know how long you have here on this earth. Tomorrow's not promised. And love and hug your kids if you have them. Like, just hug them. That's what I'm going to do this weekend. I'm just going to hug my kids this weekend. I'm going to enjoy life. I'm not going to think about this place. I don't know if I'm going to have a show on Monday or not, because I can't remember if my kids go to school or not. If my kids don't go to school, I might just take Monday off and come back on Tuesday, which will be good. I think if I do it that way, it'll work out. But, yeah, man, I'm just going to enjoy my family this weekend. That's what I plan on doing. So I hope you all do too. And y'all are the best fans in the world. I could not do this every day without y'all. When you donate, it helps. When you guys share, it helps. And when you hit the like button, it helps. Okay? Enjoy. I'll see y'all next week, either Monday or Tuesday. Not quite sure yet. You can follow me on social media at Stephen D. SKPL for all of updates about the show or about me. And I'll be up there this weekend. Sunday, I'll be watching NASCAR and Indy 500, Coca-Cola 600, and the Indy 500. I'll be watching that on Sunday, just behind the TV. Be watching Game 6 tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. So enjoy the weekend, everybody. Okay? I love y'all. Y'all be good. Peace and hair grease, y'all. Love y'all. Bye.